I was on the thank you screen. We weren't on the welcome screen. That's okay. It's not a Tuesday or a Thursday. It's a Sunday. So streams are feeling weird this week, but I wanted to catch up. It is Sunday, 8:30 p.m. ish, and we're just gonna get back to the court case. We'll warm up to the voices. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Von Karma, is the prosecution ready? Fool. You seriously think that I would stand here? Were I not completely prepared? I'm not prepared to read your words, sir, and I also don't know what voice you should be. He says, about... Right, my apologies. He's even got the judge scared. Very well, your opening statement, please. Decisive evidence. A decisive witness. What else could possibly be required? Nothing, of course. That should be fine. The prosecution may call its first witness. What's with this guy? Is he royalty or something? How am I supposed to fight against this? I call detective in charge of the case, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Okay, Gumshoe's first. Let's see how this goes. Let's review our things. Gordy. Why is Gordy gonna play a role in this? Misty Faye. Like photo. So it's all about the DL6. We gotta string it to the DL6, and I guess we're gonna try the DL6 case in chapter 5? Describes the incident now. Yes, sir. Dang, Gumshoe looks nervous. But please, take a look at the map. The murder happened late Christmas Eve around midnight. There was one boat in the very middle of the lake. There were 2 men on the boat. Now, there happened to be a woman camping here on the edge of the lake. At 12:10 a.m., she heard 2 pistol shots. 2 shots. Then the boat started to move. It went toward the boat rental shop. Overhead map added to the court record. Testify the court about the arrest now. Wait, Mr. Von Karma? Yes. Actually, I'm the one that's supposed to be handling these proceedings. Oh, that's where he got his thing. Wrong. There's only one thing you need to do here. You will slam down your gavel and say the word guilty, and that is your role. Yes, of course. You're quite right. No, he's not. Alright. 2 gunshots. Interesting. The man called into the station around 30 minutes after midnight. We headed to the scene of the crime as fast as we could. That's where we found Mr. Edgeworth. Now, I didn't suspect him of anything at all. But the next morning, a body was found in the lake. So we had to arrest Edgeworth. I see. Very well. Begins your cross-examination, attorney. Now. You received a call from a man? Yep. But you said there was a woman camping there. She was the one who heard the 2 gunshots, right? Whoa! Oh, I got his voice completely wrong. Objection! Objection! That woman... Wait. Nope, I'm sticking to the French one. Maybe he just gets angry on objections. Fuck. Holy shit. The woman... That woman and the man who called into report are 2 different people, obviously. Different people? There were 2 witnesses. Ugh. The testimonies were quite similar, however. Today I summoned the woman who was camping. The woman who's camping, so a lot of heart. What happened next, detective? We headed to the scene of the crime as fast as we could. How long was it between receiving the report and your arrival at the lake? Well, I'd say about 3 minutes. What the fuck? That's so quick. That's pretty fast. Our motto for the month is get there quick. Objection. Detective, you will refrain from casually revealing department secrets? Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I look forward to your next year's salary review. And so much to look forward to these days. This is no time for dejected daydreaming. Continue. That's where we found Mr. Edgeworth. What was Mr. Edgeworth like when you saw him then? Well, from what I saw, he looked pretty relaxed, not like a murderer at all, really. Detective, the court requires the facts, not your opinion. How many years have you been on the force? Facts only, detective. Hard, cold, objective facts. Yes, sir. And he's got a share of objections. No, I didn't suspect anything of him at all. Then why did you arrest him? You should know. We have a deep trusting relationship with the prosecutors. Detective, the court isn't interested in your musings. Oh, why did I save that? Deep, trusting, poppycock. Why did I save the video? I've never heard of so many flippant comments from an active detective on the force. She doesn't look so good. Continue now. But the next morning, the body was found in the lake. Did you find any clues on the body? A single bullet was recovered from the body. He was shot through the heart, fatally. Judge, here's the bullet. It didn't strike bone, so its shape is well preserved. Very well, the court accepts the bullet into evidence. Didn't strike bone as well. 22 caliber pistol. So we had to arrest Mr. Edgeworth. Why is that? Well, we found the murder weapon in the boat. The murder weapon? A pistol. Detective Gumshoe. That is a vital piece of information. Please revise your testimony. Right, sorry, Your Honor. The murder weapon we found in the boat was decisive evidence. What about the pistol made it decisive evidence? Ugh. He has the same evil laugh as Edgeworth. There were fingerprints on the pistol found in the boat. They were clear prints from Edgeworth's hand. What? Order, order. So Mr. Edgeworth's fingerprints were found in the murder weapon. Yes, Your Honor. Judge, this is the weapon in question. Accepted into evidence. Fired 3 times. Bears prints from Edgeworth's right hand. Members of the court, we have now the pistol used in the murder and the bullet found in the body. Detective. Yes, sir? Was the bullet found in the body fired from this pistol? Yes. The ballistic markings on the bullet matched the pistol. Hey, Nick. What does it mean, ballistic markings? Shocking. To imagine someone here does not know something as basic as ballistic markings. Nick, he's glaring at me. Very well, I'll explain. Actually, Judge, you do it. Me? Ballistic markings are like the fingerprints of a gun. The barrel leaves distinctive marks in each bullet it fires. You can examine these ballistic fingerprints to see which gun fired the shot. It's quite accurate. Indeed, this led to an inevitable conclusion that the bullet found in the victim's heart was without a doubt fired from this pistol. This pistol, which, as you may recall, was covered with the defendant's own fingerprints. Order, order. This is bad. This makes it look like Edgeworth did it. Well, Judge, I'd say it's almost decisive, yes. Honestly, I could declare a verdict at this point. However, you wish to hear the witness speak, no doubt. Very well, I am somewhat fatigued, and so I will take a brief break. But 2 gunshots fired 3 times. I call my witness after recess, which will last 10 minutes. Judge, yes. What are you doing? A 10-minute recess, now. But wait, Just bang your flimsy gavel and get on with it, man. Yes. The court will take 10-minute recess. Who's running this court? Okay. Ezra, what's going on here? Your fingerprints are on the murder weapon? That foggy photo makes one thing clear. The only one who could have shot that man was the person in the photo. True, was that you in the boat? Yes, it was me. What? But you must believe me, I didn't shoot him. Then who did? I don't know. You don't know? Weren't you right there? I heard a gunshot from very close by. Then the other man fell from the boat. I can't say why, but I thought at the time that he had shot himself. That's the only explanation I can come up with. Why couldn't I convince anyone of that? Say, Maya, huh? What? Any progress with Mia? Oh, sorry, it's no good. Ugh, I know. I'm no good for anything, am I, Nick? If I can't call my sister, it might as well not be here, right? No, I need you here. No, of course I need you here. I can see you're always trying to help out. Even if you don't actually help, it's the thought that counts, right? It's okay, Nick, you don't have to make me feel better. I don't know anything about trials or defense. What's more, I'm a spirit medium who can't even contact spirits. Everyone has their off days. I mean, I've just been getting lucky lately, but you never know when my luck is gonna run out. Really? Whoa, right? Don't jinx this case any more than it already is. It's bad for my heart. Oh? Sorry. Whoops. Court is back in session. Mr. Von Karma, call your witness. Yes. Will Miss Lotta Hart take the stand? Oh, fuck, accents. Lotta Hart, you are a research student at the university? That I am. Good. Begin by telling us what you saw the night of the incident. And don't add anything trivial or subjective. Understand? Y'all need to learn some manners. Understand? Yeah, I understand. Very well, your testimony, please. Let's go, Lotta. It's Christmas Eve, just after midnight, I reckon. I was in my car. I heard this bang coming from the lake. When I looked out the window, I saw two gents in a boat. Then there was another bang. There was a nary a thing on the lake but that boat. Enough. Huh? Judge, she happened to take a photo of the incident. This is the photo accepted as evidence. Well, that's a surprise. This looks like the very moment of the murder. Order. I will remove people from this court if I do not have an order immediately. As the witness testified, she looked at the lake when she heard the shots. There were no other boats on that lake, so the man in the boat with the victim must have been the one who shot him. Yes, it was the defendant, Miles Edgeworth. Order. I will have order. Well, Judge, the evidence is decisive. I have very little doubt about this case. Very well, this court finds the defendant. But wait, Your Honor. I haven't cross-examined the witness yet. A cross-examination? We have photographic proof. What question can there be? This photo is worth 1,000 words. They all read guilty. You lose, or do you claim to have found a contradiction in the testimony? Very well, if you have to, you can make cross-examine the witness. You will only flounder and ask meaningless questions. You will fail to find anything. And then I will have you held in contempt of court. Nick, contempt? Contempt of court, you know? I guess I understand. Well, what are you gonna do? Do you really think there was a contradiction with the facts in her testimony? Yes. I'm impressed, Nick. I didn't notice anything. Right, let's take him on. I got a bad feeling about this. I understand I will cross-examine the witness. Very well. I pray for your sake this isn't a waste of time. Just after midnight, you say? In other words, it was no longer Christmas Eve, but Christmas Day. Huh? Yeah, well, yes. I know you want to find contradictions, but really? I hope your next contradiction is a little more relevant to the trial. Witness, continue your testimony. I was in my car. Why were you camping there anyway? I'm a research student in my university. I was taking pictures and using my research. Research? This all sounds suspicious. Well... we'll press. Fuck it. Could you be more specific about your research? What does the witness's motive when camping by the lake have to do with the case? The answer is nothing. I object to this line of questioning. Objection sustained. Wait, now I'm the one who says that. Well then say it already. Objection sustained. Thanks for nothing, Your Honor. I heard this bang come up from the lake. So you weren't looking at the lake at the time? Nope, I looked after I heard that noise. She said that already. I asked you to find contradictions, not leisurely chat with the witness. When I looked out the window, I saw two gents in a boat. Could you clearly see the two men? Just look at the picture. Clear enough for you? Uh-oh. Press further. Wait a second. I wasn't asking you about the photo. I was asking if you saw the two men. Yeah, well, of course. The witness has testified that she saw them. There's also a photo. You'd best look elsewhere for your precious contradictions. He jumped in quick. He's hiding something. Then there was another bang. Sorry, whoa. Then there was another bang. Were you watching the very moment the shot rang out? Well, yeah, sure. You're asking meaningless questions. Meaningless! Contradictions, Mr. Wright, not meaningless babble. Von Karma, I think I hate you. He's trying to keep me from talking to the witness. To what end? There wasn't nary anything in that lake but that boat. Are you sure about that? Yeah, sure as a country gal can be. That sounds pretty sure. How come you're so sure? Well, heck, I scanned the whole lake. Scan the whole lake. You know, it sounds like she was more interested in the lake than the boats. Miss Hart, you... Mr. Wright, the witness has answered the question in full. No need for other questions. Objection sustained. That's what I'm... Sustained? Yes, of course. Great. What? Enough. I think we've heard all we need to hear, Mr. Wright. It seems you are unable to find a contradiction in the testimony worth noting. But, Your Honor... You keep your promise. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid that I will have to penalize any further outbursts by holding you in contempt of court. And if that happens, you have to leave the courtroom immediately. Understood? If I can't say anything, what can I do? I believe we've covered the evidence sufficiently to make a decision. Then pass your judgment. Very well. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, please take a stand. Who was that? It was me. Maya? Is something wrong? Do you need to use the facilities? No, I don't. Lotta, your testimony stinks. It's unclear whether you were actually looking at the lake. It's highly doubtful that you actually saw Mr. Edgeworth. Tell us the truth. This is a matter of life or death. Did you really clearly see Mr. Edgeworth that night? Did you see him in the... You will stand down. The court does not acknowledge the defense's outburst. Answer me, Lotta. What's the big idea? Treat me like some kind of criminal. I saw him. I saw it. Saw Edgeworth. Enough. Judge, declare the defense in court of contempt of court. Yes, of course. I'm sorry, but you were warned. Guard, escort Mr. Wright out of the courtroom. He's in contempt of court and must leave. No. No. What? Did I fuck it up? Wait. I was the one who made the outburst, Your Honor. Nick is innocent. Ha. What's the difference? All that remains is the guilty verdict to be declared. Isn't that right, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Wrong. What? Did you hear what Miss Hart just said? She said she clearly saw Mr. Edgeworth. That was not in the testimony. That changes her testimony to have a right to cross-examine her again. Facts, Phoenix. Fucking get it, my boy. Order, order, order. You're in contempt of court. It is too late for wild claims. Judge, sustain my objection. I'm sorry, Mr. Von Kammer, but I cannot. What? Miss Lotta Hart has made a new testimony. The defense does have a right to cross-examine her again. But he is in contempt of court. No, I am. You're going to arrest someone. Arrest me. Very well. My affair, you will leave the courtroom immediately. Nick, I did what I could. You have to do the rest. Good luck. Maya. Maya playing out for everyone, damn. I care not for Miss Melodrama. Listen well, Mr. Wright. I do not tolerate badgering of my witness. I'm running out of time. I'd better find a contradiction here or else begin your cross-examination. Okay, the last statement. I saw it clear as day. The man on the boat was Mr. Edgeworth. Let's look. Fired 3 times. Loud noises detected. Okay. That's it? Oh, I don't know if I can find anything in that. But I can't squander Maya's efforts either. Saving. Well, what about the other man? You cannot expect to be allowed to blithely ignore your promise, Mr. Wright. I believe you claimed there was a contradiction in the witness's testimony. Well, find it if you can. Mr. Wright, have assigned you a penalty. What? Oh my god, they really make us think. Okay. It's a foggy lake. It is also taken at 12:15 a.m. Got you. Got you, Miss Hart. Finally. What? You got what? Look at this photograph. The photo I took? The very same. There's something I want you to see in this photo. It's quite clearly visible. The fog, Miss Hart. So this picture was taken with a professional high-quality film, correct? Yet even it could not capture the faces of the men on the boat. Yet you claim you saw Mr. Edgeworth. How? What? Mr. Wright has a point. That's why I told her not to say that in her testimony, please. Yet now she has said it, Mr. Von Karma. How could you possibly see Mr. Edgeworth? Explain yourself. Miss Hart, what? Could you see the defendant that night? Of course, I said I could. I meant I could. Then please testify as to your circumstances of your sighting. I did. I finally found a hole in Von Karma's carefully vague testimony. You're right. It was a cold night and the fog was thick as grits. So once I was finished setting up my camera, I got back in the car. Still, I brought my binoculars with me. When I heard that noise out in the lake, I looked with my binoculars. See, no problem. You used binoculars. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. This one better be good. So I can't just keep thinking everything. I'm gonna save here. Just in case. I can't object everything. If there were a heavy fog, how would the binoculars change that at all? What do you mean? Even binoculars can't see through fog. But you say you clearly saw him. I did, yeah. Enough. There's no room for doubt in the testimony. She sounds pretty doubtful to me. But I have to find a clear contradiction first. I don't care how many Von Karma objections I get. I'm going to find a hole in this testimony for the last thing I do. Okay, so we can object now. See, how could you see Edgeworth? Now just hold your horses for a second. You hasty Yankee types never find a gal where I'm from. Defense attorney have trouble with that as it is. Nobody loves me. So once I was finished setting my camera, I got back in my car. Your camera? Yeah, it's got an automatic... The issue we are concerned here is Miss Hart seeing Mr. Edgeworth. The camera has nothing to do with this at all. Objection sustained. I brought my binoculars with me. Yesterday you mentioned that you were out looking for shooting stars, correct? Well, yeah. Wouldn't you need a telescope, not binoculars for that? I've got doubts about your camera too. Was that really to take pictures of the meteor shower? No it's not. You can't say that for certain. If you believe it is, you may continue with the line of questioning. If you had nothing in this, there are consequences. I'm gonna press further. The camera is of utmost importance, Your Honor. This is perhaps the key to this entire case. Therefore, I will continue my line of questioning. Very well. Miss Hart, you will testify to the court about the camera. Yeah, I hear ya. The camera was set up to take pictures of a meteor shower. But the picture was at the lake. There's like clearly no sky in the picture, so what the fuck? Miss Hart, what made you choose that lake to photograph meteors? You know the fog gets thick on that lake, it's not very suited for stargazing. Yeah, well, you see, I guess I wasn't thinking too straight, huh? Mr. Wright, I would not have you badgering my witness because of all her challenged intellect. Now, wait a minute. Continue testimony you're saying how is that you saw Edgeworth? Ugh. No unnecessary comments, please. Why was it pointing at the lake? You're photographing shooting stars. That's a lie. Says who? Take a look at this photograph. This was taken on an automatic setting, was it not? Yeah, that's right. You have to point the camera upwards to take photos of the stars, Miss Hart. But, as this photograph clearly shows, the camera is pointed directly at the lake. Ugh. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? The witness was not at the lake to photograph shooting stars, Your Honor. Well then, what exactly was she photographing? Show evidence. Your Honor, take a look at this. What was Miss Hart trying to take a picture of? Miss Hart, this is what you were trying to photograph. What's this? A newspaper article? Gordy? Ah, the sighting at the Gourd Lake. Well, Miss Hart, I never heard of no lake monster. You got proof or something? Let's see, prove that I was down at the lake trying to take a photograph at this Gordy. Sure. I have it. Proof. Intriguing. Very well, let's see it. No joking around this time, please. What is this proof? The proof, Miss Hart, is your own camera. Your camera was set to... Whoa. Your camera was set to take photos in response to loud noises, correct? Thus, this photograph here taken when a gun fired on the lake. And here, this article about Gordy. According to this article, Gordy made a loud noise when it emerged. Well, you were trying to photograph Gordy, weren't you? That's why you had to set up your camera to respond to loud noises. Order, order. I see. I too thought it was a little strange. Yeah, sure. Well, Miss Hart, you were camping there to try and take a photo of Gordy, weren't you? Yeah. Not bad. Are y'all lawyers that smart? So smart, boy. I was down trying to take a photograph of Gordy. You got me. So what? Huh? That don't change what I saw, does it? Exactly. What you just used several precious minutes of our time to prove is nothing more than the witness is an idiot who thinks monsters exist. Hey. But as she so succinctly said, so what? It changes nothing, not true. You're hiding the whole thing about Gordy for some reason, I know it. But what could it have been? Whatever this is, I'm getting to the bottom of this. Miss Hart, why did you hide the fact that you were searching for Gordy from the courts? Please revise your testimony. I'll testify. This won't change nothing, though. Ooh. Okay, we have one. I'm gonna save. We have one pause. I'm gonna go here. I'm not a student of research. I'm an investigative photographer. Imagine what a scoop it'd be if I got a picture of that monster. That's why I was camping out by the lake. But that's all I was hiding. When I heard the bang, I looked right straight out of the lake. There wasn't much else to look at, so I just watched the boat the whole time. Then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands, and I heard a gunshot. I was looking right at that boat the whole time. Cross my heart, hope to fry. Interesting. Interesting, okay. Why? The witness's testimony is unchanged from before. Whether she is a research student or a photographer has no bearing on this case. There's no need to waste more of our time with another pointless cross-examination. I claim the defense's right to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. He doesn't want me to cross-examine her because why? What's the contradiction? That would be a first. Yeah. It's your last chance to cross-examine. If there's no problem with the testimony this time, we have the witness leave. I'll announce my verdict in time, Mr. Wright. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. Okay. I'm gonna save again. This is stressing me out. Okay. Let's look at our evidence. Three times? I'm just so curious about the third shot. That's why I was camping out by the lake. That's all I was hiding. When I heard the bang, looked right straight out at the lake. There wasn't much else to just look at, so I watched the boat the whole time. Then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands, and I heard another gunshot. Gonna see what it feels like if we can press. Then what manner of person are you? I'm not sure. I'm highfalutin enough to be called a manner of anything. You get your photo and sell it to the press, it's kind of the business. The same page as my sister's graduation last year. And guess what? There was a UFO? Just hanging in the sky. What is a UFO? Oh, UFO. That's a lot of talk. It's a lot of talk. A UFO. Sorry. UFO. A UFO? You know, one of them unidentified flying objects? A UFO. Fucking Christ. That's when I had a sort of revelation. I knew I should become an investigative photographer. I see. Imagine what the scoop would be. Picture that monster. Is Gordy really all that newsworthy? Heck yeah. They even had him up on TV. I'm not sure that appearing on local newsroom of the month segment qualifies. Last month's Big 7 was Bigfoot sighted on Acorn Hill, I believe. Hey, they also had a picture of him in the newspaper for real. This is one fight I do not believe you can win. Let's keep moving, shall we? Yes, Your Honor. So I was camping by the lake. Sorry. That's why you put the automatic sensor in your camera. Yep, borrowed it from a university professor. It analyzes every sound it picks up, and when it gets a bang, it snaps a shot. Yep. So how many pictures has it taken so far? The only one the camera was triggered that night. That's all I was hiding. I think it's time you told us why you felt you had to hide your true purposes at the lake. Heck, if word got out what I was up to, that lake be swarming with competitors. Competitors? Yeah, second-rate shutterbugs trying to steal my scoop. Ah, is that the only reason you were hiding the truth? Well, actually, Mr. Wright, Miss Monsieur Wright, I'll not have you asking questions with no relevance to this case. Whatever you say, Von Karma. I knew you told her to keep it quiet. When I heard the bang, I looked right straight out at the lake. What sort of sound was it? Well, I never heard one before, so I can't say for sure, but it sounded like a gunshot. It was a lot sharper a sound than I thought it would have expected. Sharp sound. There wasn't much else, so I wanted to watch the lake the whole time. There wasn't much else. Yep. She heard a bang and she thought Gordy was out there. Can't doubt she'd waste any time looking at a boat. What? What'd I do now? What are you giving me that look for? Definitely suspicious. Maybe it's time for some evidence. Witness, continue. Hold your horse, puppies, pops. I'm getting there. Hands, and I heard another gunshot. Was there nothing on the lake but the boat at the time? Yeah, wait. So you're thinking maybe he was shot from some other place? I don't think so. Nope. The lake was smooth as glass and nobody was on the shore, neither. Okay, so my thing is probably... Why is there only one picture? No, it's wrong! Fuck. Oh, what's up, Lemon? Are you a really good lawyer? Clearly not, with my lack of lives at the moment. I know you can't see it at the moment. Hold on. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, I'm lacking a bunch of lives. Also, there's going to be a delay, so I'm just going to hold it on screen a little bit so you can see it. But yeah, very fucking I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Dude, what's up? How are you? Happy New Year. There wasn't much else. Just trying to figure out what the actual contradiction was. Because I know I have to present evidence for it to go since I've gone through everything. It was fired 3 times. Well, see, Happy New Year surprised me. I mean, it's still January. I think it counts. It's only been a month. Yeah, it's still a month. It counts. Yeah, this New Year has felt so fast, but also so slow. It's so slow at the same time, which I very much appreciate. Feels like months already. And I'm guessing you don't appreciate that it's taking so long too. God. Nah, I feel you, dude. Work has been very long for me. It's made the last 2 weeks of the month really fucking slow. Saw a flash near one of the men's hands. I heard another gunshot. So sound travels, so obviously they're not gonna do that, but it was fired. There were 3 shots fired. Much else to look at, so I just watched the boat the whole time. But Chinese New Year, though. Oh, very true. Is that now? Isn't it just like a... Wait. I get it wrong for how long it takes to celebrate Chinese New Year, so... I don't know if that's this weekend, if it's a specific day. Honestly, my Chinese friends have never explained it to me, and I should learn more. It's in 2 days. Okay. So, which camera was... Why did the camera only take 1 photo? It looked right straight out of the lake. You know what? If I get a game over, that's fine. I'm just gonna restart it from the save point anyway. But... It sounded like a gunshot. There wasn't much else, so I just watched the boat the whole time. So it's that one that we gotta do. The lady's got a lot of curl. Because her name's Lotta. Her name is Lotta Hart. And honestly, the puns are kind of ridiculous in this game. In the previous one, we had a dude called Salmonella. Spelled like that. And then we have Lotta Hart right now. There's so many things wrong with it, it's annoying. 2022. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. I'm pretty sure D. Vasquez is something as well, but I can't figure out what D. Vasquez would be. Surely. What about your camera? No! Wrong. It's time for some evidence. What is it supposed to be? Set to automatically take a picture when a loud noise is detected. So I can't really ask why there's only one picture when there was 2 gunshots. "12:15 a.m. Gordy article. Overhead map of the Gourd Lake. Found in the victim's body, ballistic marking match for the weapon. 3! It's the 3 gunshots that I'm really curious. I'm very curious about. I have 2 more tries before I game over. That's why I was camping out by the lake. But that's all I was hiding. When I heard the bang, I looked right straight at the lake. There wasn't much else to look at, so I just watched the boat the whole time. Then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands, and then I heard another gunshot. I'm gonna do the gun. I'm gonna do the gun. No, it's not right as well. Thank you, Lemon. We're gonna try. This is the one that stumped me the most. This is where I'm almost dead. I got one more try. Let's do it again. Let's do this again. Yeah, so that was a nothing statement. This is graduation. A UFO, yeah. UFO, literally. Heck yeah, they had them on TV. I also just like how they believe in it, but also spirit mediums are like a thing that the police actually go to. The only time they triggered this that night. Why can't I use that? There was 3 bangs, but then the sensor didn't go off. Can I not present the camera? Why is that wrong? So he lost. Oh wait, sorry. I don't know I need a thing. Let me do this again. Not a manner of person. Yup. Yup, the UFO. Camping out by the lake. Oh, why can't I question that? I would like to present this now, but it won't let me. Why is that the only... But that's all I was hiding. Competitors... Yup. A sharper sound. There was much else. And then I saw the flash. Okay. There wasn't much else to look at, so I just watched the boat the whole time. So the picture doesn't, like... There really wasn't much else to look at besides the boats. I don't know what evidence to present. I really don't. And then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands, and I heard another gunshot. Why was there another gunshot? Nope, not the bullet. Yeah, sure, I got him wrong. It's okay. No, I didn't mean to hold it. Why didn't your camera thing? Nope. Not the picture. I don't understand why. Maybe I'm just at the wrong section. I think I'm just in the wrong section of the testimony. Oh, it's this! It's this! Fuck! Oh, I guess, or is it not? Hold on. Got out of my car, looked right straight onto the lake. That's still correct. Because if you're standing from her side, it would be the right side of the lake. Okay, not that. When I heard the bang, I looked right straight out of the lake. There wasn't much else I wanted to watch the whole time but the boat. Then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands and I heard a gunshot. Why is that not objectable? Did I do the middle one yet? Would you not have been looking at your camera? Oh, it's fucking Gordy? Fuck off. No. No. No, that was it? We were catching her off about what she was truly wanting to look at? Much else to look at. But that's kind of like... I don't know, game. Is that obvious to you, though? When... Well, because she looked straight onto the lake and she was trying to find Gordy. But if there was no Gordy present, you would just look at the boat. But I guess why would you stare at the boat? I don't know. Confusing. Were you really looking at the boat? Of course I was looking at it. I was the only thing out there. Any normal person would be looking at it. I agree, any normal person would. But you're far from normal. What the fuck, Phoenix? What do y'all want to step over here and say that? You were camping out at the lake to take a picture of Gordy. Think about it. What would you do if you heard a loud noise? You'd be scanning the lake for any sign of Gordy. That's what. You wouldn't give the boat a second thought. That doesn't hold up in the argument, to be fair. At least I don't see it that way. But also, that's why I work in insurance and not law. You testified that you were watching the boat through the binoculars. However, you wouldn't need binoculars to watch that boat. Okay. I understand this part. You need them to search for Gordy. That's what you were doing. Well, that's meta attorney. Well, now that y'all mention it, I did sort of take my binoculars and kind of scan the lake a bit. I mean, Gordy might be out there and all. Miss Hart, are you saying that you were not watching the boat then? Sorry, y'all. I wasn't fibbing, really. I thought, you know, I could be a witness to a murder and all. And I kind of got excited. I was sure I was watching the boat till now. This is totally uncalled for. But hey, you got the photograph. You got proof. Still, we can't see who is shooting who in this. Right. That's why I took this photo and... Witness, that is enough. You've had a long day. Shut your pie hole. Shut my what? What's she going to say? She took the photo and what? Wait a second. I mean, enlarged it. They enlarged the photo. She even had a photograph to prove it. But you really can't tell who's in this shooting. That's why she said she's going to enlarge the photo. She said it'll drop the quality in mind, but should let us see who's who. Great voice acting as usual. I'm losing my shit. There's too many voices at this point. Fuck. Thank you for coming through with the free, untrained, unfiltered voice acting. I won't Karma let her show it. I've got a hunch. I bet that enlarged photo shows something bad for Karma. This is my chance. If I'm wrong, it'll mean prison for Edgeworth or worse. What should I do? Let us save first. Let us do the savings and go from here. Miss Hart, look at this photograph. You enlarged this photograph, did you not? Yeah, I did. Why has the enlargement not been presented to the court? Because it does not exist. What are y'all talking about? You were the one who told me not to show it in court in the first place. You old fool. Preventing evidence. Hiding evidence. What's the meaning of this, Mr. Von Karma? Miss Hart. Show the photo to the court. Show us the enlargement. The prosecution objects to the submission of the evidence. Objection denied. The witness will show the enlargement of the The witness will show the enlargement to the court. Here it is. Doesn't help. Why is that gun so crystal clear? That gun is so crystal clear in this photo. They said the thing was gonna go down. How did it? How did they CIA? How did they NCIS? You fucking what? How did they get that so clear? We still cannot see who is firing in this. It could be the defendant, or maybe it's not. Regardless, I'll accept this as evidence. Zoom in and enhance. I know, but that gun is so clear. The faces, obviously, we cannot see. The trench coats, you know, 50-50. Happy now, Mr. Wright? There has to be something. You asked for the enlargement and you got the enlargement. And little good it has done as any of us. That's why I requested she not show it. I suppose this means that the cross-examination is over, obviously. Then I would like to close the cross-examination of Miss Lotta Hart. And none too soon, that was a flagrant waste of my time. Mr. Von Karma, do you have anything to add? I stated everything I needed when this trial began. Decisive evidence. A decisive witness. What else could possibly be required? Nothing, of course. Then I believe it is time for me to declare my verdict. It's not supposed to go like this. There has to be a clue in this photo somewhere. This is bad, real bad. What should I do? Save. I'm gonna look at my court records. Oh, Edgeworth's right hand. That is the left hand, right? Yeah, it's being fired from the left hand. Show other evidence. Wait. Your Honor, this evidence. I believe we have spent enough time talking about evidence. Indeed. We've heard opinions on every piece of evidence but its enlargement. I see no point in retracting our steps. This is bad. Real bad. What should I do? What? I have evidence. Your Honor, there's something decisively strange with this enlargement. What might that be? Mr. Wright, you will show the court what you mean about this photo is strange. Well, here goes nothing. I'll show the judge what's strange about this photo. It was fired from the right hand. Oh, here. Here, Your Honor. The shooter? I'm not sure I understand what about the shooter is strange. Look at the hand holding the pistol, Your Honor. The hand? The hand directly contradicts another piece of evidence. This man's left hand does what? Sorry, this man's left hand does what? Let me show you. I'll show you the evidence the hand contradicts. See, things roll out real clear. That Lotta Hart one with the why she was at the lake just was weird. I think I was way too close to the evidence. I should have taken a step back. It's fine. We live and we learn. But also, if this was a real court case, Edgeworth would have definitely gone to jail. The evidence is clear. The man in this photograph is holding that pistol in his left hand. However, the prints on the murder weapon were from Edgeworth's right hand. Ergo, the man shooting the pistol in this photograph is not Mr. Edgeworth. Edgeworth. Now that everyone in the courtroom has quieted down, for Christ's sake, I would like to reconvene this court of law. Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor, you have given us definitive proof today. We now know that it was not Mr. Edgeworth who fired the pistol that night. However, this leaves us with a rather large problem. If Mr. Edgeworth didn't do it, then who shot our victim? Precisely. As we have seen, there were no other people on the lake that night. Who but the defendant could have shot the victim? I'm gonna say the victim himself. Why would we blame Larry? There's only one explanation remaining. The man who shot the victim was none other than the victim himself. It could have been Larry. Order, order. So you're saying that the victim committed suicide? Yes, Your Honor. I can think of no other explanation. Indeed, that does seem to be the only remaining option. I am so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright, but suicide is out of the question. What? An examination of the victim's wounds revealed the distance at which he was shot. The distance? The victim was clearly shot from a further than a meter away. A meter? That's 3 feet. It is 3 feet. There's no way it could have been suicide. Order, order. Mr. Von Karma, are you sure of the accuracy of your data? Of course. I had already considered the possibility of suicide, you see? I'm there sometime approximately 1 meter away. I see. Very well, allow me to state my opinion. Considering the situation, the shooter had to be the defendant, Mr. Edgeworth. However, the prints in the gun reveal the shooter was not Mr. Edgeworth. This is a conundrum. Therefore, I would like to suspend proceedings for this trial for 1 day. The courtroom orders the defense and the prosecution to further investigate this matter. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. That is all. This court is adjourned. I wonder if... Like, do the... Who does the investigating? Oh, that was a close one. Hey, don't you have anything to say? No. I've yet to be declared innocent, right? Well, yeah, but what happened out there on that lake anyway? If he didn't commit suicide, then who? The shooter was about a meter away too. What? Don't give me that look. I didn't kill him. I was just kidding around. Look, I'm going to go check on Maya. Oh, right. What? Tell her something for me. What? Tell her to watch what she says in court. That's all. Would you just state how you really feel with a thanks, Edgeworth? I requisitioned a transcript of Lotta's entire testimony. I thought it might give me some ammunition for the trial tomorrow. Of course, she didn't see the shooter, so the only part of her testimony that stood was the bang she heard. Edgeworth Tsundere. Yeah, I really do feel like it. Because after the previous chapter, it just seemed like he was very in love with Phoenix. So who knows? I heard 2 sounds like gunshots just after midnight, but it only took 1 photo. Big ding ding. Right, baka. And just the way that they have the art going, it's really like, man, whoever's into dudes and into Edgeworth would find that very, like, cute and attractive. Especially because the entire game, Edgeworth has been written up to be some sort of, like, god. Was he not a defense? What the fuck is the opposite of a defense attorney? The accusers. What? Hold on. We were just in court. Prosecutor. That's the word. Thank you, Lemon. He's a god prosecutor. It kind of makes sense. Hey, Nick, it's you. I'm glad Mr. Edgeworth made it through the day okay. That's a relief. Hey, why'd you do that anyway? I don't know. I just knew I had to do something. I know I'm not the lawyer my sister was. I'm sorry. Well, you did save the trial. Just behave from now on, okay? Oh, okay. Is she stuck here? Let's move. Oh, sorry, let's examine. Smile for the camera. Guard monitor of his room. He hasn't moved since. A real pro. Okay. Questioning. Have you been questioned yet? No, not yet. Detective Gumshoe was here just now. He said he's seeing this as your first offense. We'll let you go after questioning. Whew. Oh, and he wanted me to get bail money already. You can pay for me, okay? Huh? How much? I don't know. I guess I'll send you a bill or something. Why do I picture giant bales of money every time I hear the word bail? Mia. Any luck with Mia? None. I can't get through her at all. I tried. I really did. I don't know what to do. I think I probably should have stopped my training. I think I probably shouldn't have stopped my training. She sounds like she really did do her best. I should check and see if there's any waterfalls in the local area. I wonder if I'll ever see my sister again. Nope, fresh out of ideas. Okay. Let's go back to the court law, to the office. Sure is quiet here with nobody around. Right. I have to get Maya out of that detention cell soon. It's cleaning day once again. Bellboy. How is Charlie? Seems fine. That's gonna be a pink samurai picture soon. And here is fine too. Okay. I guess we'll go see Gumshoe. Gumshoe's at the scene today. Huh? Oh, really? He's a live wire, that one. Got into a fight with the chief for not following protocol. Not following protocol? I bet he wouldn't help build the case against Edgeworth. Okay, to desks. What do you have to say today? As one of the detectives, don't do anything rash. Why jump? You have every reason to live. He's doing some image training for talking down potential suicide. That's good. At least he's training. Hey, is this the police department mascot? Blue Badger. Yep, I did it myself. What? Rook to bishop 7? Checkmate, I don't believe it. He's playing chess. The poster. And then no clues. Okay. He's at the scene. Cord Lake. There are fewer than there were yesterday. What? There are fewer than there were yesterday, but the cops are still around the park. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe's here today. As per, investigate everything. Just so we have it out of the way, and just so we don't have any potential evidence. Okay, let's see if Gumshoe's here. Haven't seen Larry on today at all. Probably off paying through the nose on a date. What? Paying through the nose on a date with the lovely Kiance. Examine again. It's pretty big. Trash can is empty. Almost didn't see a signpost. The docks. Maybe he's at the boat dock. Yep. Cool. Okay. 2. Let's meet up with Lotta first. Gumshoe! Hey, detective. Hey, pal. Trial today? The trial today, Yeah, what about the trial? Well, I was going to say good show, but it really wasn't that at all. Though you did save Mr. Edgeworth, I guess. I just wasn't sure how to thank you, you know. Thanks. Alright, examine. Lotta takes very good care of her SUV. Blah, blah, blah. A car down here. I wonder why she brought camping cooker with her. Food and some magazines. Clearly a sign that says no camping. Oh, wait, there was one more thing. It's the thick woods. Cool. The lake, a stick, a twig, the camera set up. Even novice like me can tell the camera's cost a pretty penny. I hope she doesn't leave it out here to get stolen. Okay. Detective Gumshoe, any idea what's a strategy Von Karma's planning for tomorrow? It sounds like he's bringing in another witness. Another witness? Alright, he said something about that in trial today. There was 2 witnesses? I was wondering who that other witness was. Who was it? Sorry, pal. As much as I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Right. Alright, I wanted to ask you something about Edgeworth. What's up? Is he afraid of earthquakes? I've never heard anything about that before. Mr. Edgeworth doesn't talk about himself too much, see? But there's one thing that's clear as day. Him hating crime the way he does, and him becoming a prosecutor. And him becoming scared of earthquakes. It all started with that incident. The DL6 incident? Yep, that's the one. 15 years ago when he saw his father shot before his very eyes. He still feels the pain now. You can see it in his eyes. I want to talk to you about Maya Fey. Huh? She's not out on bail yet? That's strange. I told him to let her go as soon as they had their report written up. Man, I don't know what would have been happening in that courtroom today if it weren't for her. Seeing her getting dragged out by the bailiff, I'll be honest with you, pal, I shed a tear or two. Mr. Edgeworth, he was so moved I saw his lip trembling. Really? Cold as ice, Edgeworth? He was really grateful for what she did, you know. I'm gonna head back to the station. I'll get the report on Maya and get her out there as soon as I can. Thank you. Oh, wait. I was wondering how much bail is going to be. Don't worry about that. Mr. Edgeworth is posting the whole amount. What? Edgeworth? Didn't I tell you? He's grateful to her for what she did. Alright, pal. Well, don't forget to pick her up, okay? We can get Edgeworth to pay this month's rent, too. Phoenix! Just do the shop. Looks like the Bono shop's closed today, too. Okay. Probably closed. Yup. The woods are also checked and fine. Nothing on the door. Oh, no clues. Some boats laying around. Murder took place on the boat from the dock. Police took away the actual boat that was used that night. Indeed, there's space for one more boat at the dock. Okay, let's pick up Maya. Parents was on vacation today. I guess I can come back tomorrow if I need anything. Okay, let's just check. Kinda dead. The mahogany table. The books. The plant. Cool. I think that's everything. Maya, let's go home. Hey Nick, you finally came. They just finished the paperwork. I'm free to go. Free at last, huh? Those interrogators were really mean. They were like, okay, what did you do this time? Like I was some kind of criminal. Can you believe it? Well, they let you out in the end, didn't they? Oh, that reminds me. Thanks for bail. Thank Edgeworth. Huh? He posted bail for you. Said he was grateful for what you did. Mr. Edgeworth did that? I have to make it up to him. We've got to win this case, Nick. Alright. We go to the park and look at Gordy. I was kidding. Still, if there are any clues at their park, so get to bed as any. Okay, what do you say? Shall we head down there? Sure. You know, I did notice one thing while I was here in detention. It's pretty comfortable here. It's warm and they keep it very clean. You meant anything about the case? Well, not much more than that, no. Still upset about Mia. Should leave her alone. Yeah, fair enough. Alright. There aren't many cops around here today, are there? They're probably back at the precinct working up the case against Edgeworth. Hey, y'all! Hey, it's Lotta. Y'all really did it today. What did we do now? What did we do now? Nah, I'm not complaining. See, I did a little thinking, a little self-reflection, you might say. I realized that I was being a witness is a mighty big responsibility. But I just went up there and started battling any old thing that came to mind. Lotta, so you see, I want to... I just farted, sorry. So you see, I want to make it up to y'all. Make it up? What do you think of today? What do you think of the trial? To be honest, I was doing it half just to say I'd been a witness, even though I didn't really see anything. I kind of convinced myself I had, though. I'm sorry, I know it caused y'all a lot of trouble. Well, memory is a tricky, vague little thing. Yeah, I sure know that now. I'll be fine next time I witness a murder. Right. I mean the first time you witness a murder. What about Gordy? Right. Well, the way I figure, the trail's only stoking the flames of the Gordy fever. The trial, sorry. I'll get my exclusive photos and rocket to stardom. All right, Lotta, you go, girl. I wish I could have been an investigative photographer too. Finish your spirit medium training first. Making it up, Lotta. What do you mean by making it up to us? Well, you see, actually, I got a little bit of information for you. What? That Von Karma didn't want me say nothing about it. What information? Now we're getting to the heart of it. See, I reckon we might be able to do ourselves a little exchange. Exchange? I thought it was a make it up to us. Right? I propose a little exchange to make it up to you. What? Information don't come cheap, my friend. Hey, I see you thinking, how unsophisticated these southern folks are. It's written all over your face. Let me tell you, most southerners are way more sophisticated than you. I'm just the exception, okay? Well, what'll it be? We got a deal. We're gonna do a deal or not? What'd we do? Let's do a deal. We don't have any other leads, so I think we have a choice. We don't have a choice here. Okay, how much? Huh? You completely off your rocker? I may not be sophisticated, but I'm not trying to rob you the poor. Huh? The only fair exchange for information is information. Listen good. What I need from you is information about Gordy. What? Gordy? But Gordy doesn't... Gordy might not exist. Then bring me some proof to show that he don't. I'll be keeping watch from that car, okay? You see something, y'all come find me first, got it? Okay. Right, see y'all later. Okay, Nick, let's go hunting. Hunting? You don't seriously mean... Gordy? I sure do. What about Edgeworth? We're searching for Gordy for him, Nick. Don't you get it? Okay, and how exactly do we search for a make-believe monster? Maybe we can find a monster myth specialist? Surely Butts. Butts has a thing for us. What the fuck? Samurai. That wasn't there before. There's no New Zealand flag! Come on! The Steel Samurai, Nick. Yo, Maya! Larry? What the heck is that? Oh, it is my girl Kiance's idea. She was all, if you would like, put it here? It would be like, real cool. Dude, she gave it to me along with the banner. Wow, that's really impressive. She could find those for you. Well, she knows a lot of people. And that's finished now, so she got them for free. Right? What's up with your hand, sir? Doesn't that Steel Samurai look a little out of place? It's so huge. I guess it's good advertising. Something about this Steel Samurai just doesn't work for me. Huh? It looks pretty well made to me. Still a novice, aren't you, Nick? Really? True connoisseurs like Cody and me don't fall for this kind of stuff. What? What do you mean? What's this machine? That's a compressor. I use it to fill up the balloon with the air. Neat. Just got it repaired yesterday, man. What a drag that was. Can't get over the samurai dogs. The original samurai dogs, no less. Hey man, whoever calls their product the original first wins. Why don't you add world famous to the sign? Good idea. Cool. Hey Nick, benches. Let's take a break and maybe have a dog? I think not. It's too cold to sit and eat hot dogs out there. Wimpy city boy. You should try standing under a freezing waterfall sometime. We gotta find you a waterfall too. Trash can's empty, well maintained. Sign. Wow, Gourd Lake is really big, yeah. Say Nick, why is it called Gourd Lake? Because of the gourd. Okay, is that everything? Before we question butts? Those flags look sadly out of place here. Flapping listlessly back and forth in a cold wind under a cold sky. Hi, Grovey. I don't know. I don't think it gives the place kind of a festival atmosphere. It reminds me of the War of the Eyeglasses. What? The War of the what? So the thing with the girl is over. I was right all the time. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. What happened? Huh? What do you mean you don't know the War of the Eyeglasses? What the heck is that? Our local fair used to do it every summer. I guess we were the only ones. Ask again. What the heck is it? Okay, that's everything. Cool. Yo, Nick, what happened with Edgy? Well, made it through the first day in court alright. I don't know how good our prospects are from here, though. Huh? Hey, Larry, do you know Mr. Edgeworth's secret weakness? He's terrified of earthquakes. He acts like a little boy. Huh? That's weird. I don't think he was ever like that in school. She's uncertain about everything, so that's why her feelings escalated quickly. And I fucking knew because I'm cold-blooded. What? Okay. I'm assuming there's more to this. Well, we were only in the same class for a little bit. He transferred schools pretty quick. Transferred. Right. DL6 incident. Doesn't look like Larry knows about it, though. Like a lizard? Yeah, I think so. 3 guys in total. Hey, Larry. When did you get that big thing? Huh? Oh, the big guy? I had that for about a month? It's a big hit with the kids. I was in it there yesterday. Huh? Oh, right. The compressor was busted. It's that little unit in my hot dog stand. That's what I used to buy the Steel Samurai. It broke a little while ago, so I spent it in repairs. Okay. What do you know about Gordy? That's the guy that's selling my dogs faster than I can cook them. Do you think Gordy really exists? Nah, I think somebody probably just saw something else that they thought was Gordy. But I'll keep selling samurai dogs until the truth's out. There were 3 guys in total. She was taking something out of everyone with them. I knew something's not right, so I went with plan C and I uncovered some shit. Okay, what did you find? Also, there's nothing wrong with someone talking to multiple people at once. You guys weren't in a relationship. Like, it wasn't an agreed thing because you wouldn't agree to in a relationship, so at least from that perspective. But again, I don't know the full story, so... What else can I find out about Gordy? I'll move. Fucking Lotta, goddamn. I guess there's something wrong with hitting on 3 guys at once and swapping between them. You guess there is something wrong? I don't know. Like, if she was flirting and getting to know people... So, Shush Penguin, you gotta acknowledge that I was right this time. I wouldn't say you were right this time. What do you, like, a dating app, you could, like, okay, so for example of a dating app, you could get so many people and link with them and talk to them. Would you get mad at everyone if they had, like, if they were messaging more than one person? You don't kiss around or do more stuff. People sleep around. But you don't, like, you know, people can just have, like, no, like, they don't owe you anything if you sleep with them. You guys didn't, like, agree that it was a one-person thing. That's kind of like the way that it is, really. Because I can't be mad if I made out with a girl at a party and then she made out with someone else at the party. Like, it's just the party. Us making out isn't, like, confirmation that she's only gonna want to be with me. It's just a party. We didn't have a conversation. We just made out. Like, that's not really a thing. Unless you have, like, an actual conversation and say that it's a relationship and that it's a singular thing. If you go for a relationship, you're supposed to have it with only one guy, not 3. Again, I disagree. She's trying to... Why would she not try and meet other people while she's not in a relationship? It kind of makes sense to talk to multiple people and see who she thinks she likes more. There's no rule that it has to be one at a time. There really isn't. Okay, why am I wrong? Did she lie to you and say that she was the only one you were seeing? Or you were the only one that she was seeing? Was she, like, trying to hide that from you? It's not cheating. You weren't in a relationship with her. She can't be cheating if you guys didn't agree to a relationship. Well, y'all find anything about Gordy? No, nothing. Ah, see, that's where you're wrong. Because basically is not a relationship. You can do relationshipy things. You can go out and hold hands and have sex and whatever. Whatever you deem a relationshipy thing was. But if you don't have that conversation, then who says you're in a relationship? Just because you do those things, that's just dating. That doesn't mean you're in a relationship. No, nothing. Well, keep moving. It gets cold out here at nighttime. It's a little chilly. Needs a breeze. What? A sneeze did it? Don't question English. I told y'all no sneezing. See, I said the camera to respond to a thing a little softer than a bang. I'd trigger... What? It'd trigger one of Von Karma's finger snaps now. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, sorry's not nice. What about my film? Nick, pay the lady. I learned something in today's trial, that's for sure. About the case anymore. Information about the case, yeah, so we have to find the dirt on Gordy. I could be an investigator. We'll let her quit if she doesn't find Gordy. I only have one photo of my name so far. Again, Corvi, if she said, you're the only... If these words came out of her mouth, or not even these words specifically, but the idea of like, hey, you're the only dude I'm dating, I'm not seeing anyone else. Anyway, if you start going for someone, you shouldn't go for others the same way. That's a bad thing, a huge red flag. It's like you sleep around, but the thing is where feelings are put into that. I mean, for you, probably. I mean, I agree. But you're not locked down in a relationship. People date in different ways. And that's just the way people date. I didn't put any feelings into that. What? So you weren't dating then? So... Okay, so if you weren't dating, then she didn't do anything wrong. I was being cautious. But like, again, I don't see what she did wrong with dating around. And why would she continue to date someone who is very cold and cut off when there's other people, other dudes, for in this example, who are probably showing her the emotional connection that she's looking for? I don't know. You bet. A UFO. Oh yeah, UFO. Okay. Career making photo. That's then I'll quit. Back to school. Well, so she is a university student. What? Oh, we just stuck in this conversation. Well, I went that way only because she was lying. What did she lie about specifically? Okay. We have nothing on Gordy yet. So let's try the boats. Maybe the boats have something. It's always so quiet here. I wonder if the boat shop is closed for good. Well, with the murder on the lake and all, they're probably just taking a vacation till it blows over. I get it. Shit. Still nothing. Still... Oh, the boats again? And nothing. Come on! We've had the same Gordy thing, that there's just one, that is serious to the point where she shouldn't go around others. So she said to you that you were the only person she was dating. But didn't she tell you about that other dude that she was talking to as well? Hey there, pal. What's up? You look out of sorts. Wait, you didn't go and do something that's gonna hurt Edward's case again. What do you mean again? Whatever, have a seat, pal. I'm here for you if you need anything, besides money, that is. Yeah, fair enough. You can't date like, I'm a hit and do all the things to others as well. No, but did she say... No, because she said she was talking to other people. That's what you told me. She did tell you about the other dude. You can't date like I'm a hit. I mean, look, if that's how you feel, that's valid. Definitely that's not the way that you date. That's fine. But again, I don't see where she lied. She did that so you'd lose interest. But did she lie? How's the investigation proceeding? It's not really. We have another meeting coming up. We're supposed to talk. So what is the lie? What did she lie about? We're supposed to talk about Mr. Edgeworth's motive. His motive? See, Mr. Edgeworth's father died in the DL6 incident, and the guy who got the loan suspect declared innocent. What? And the guy who got the loan suspect declared innocent was the victim in this case, Robert Hammond. They're saying that's why Mr. Edgeworth shot him. And Edgeworth never talks about his past. I bet they'll drag that out to hit him in the court tomorrow too. I gotta admit, it doesn't look good, pal. Yeah. Say, do you know anything about Gordy? The monster down in the Gourd Lake? No, personally, no. Well, we're looking for it. Huh? Are you out of your minds? You got time to go wild monster hunting? How about doing a little questioning for me then? Oh, Detective Gumshoe is scaring me, Nick. That she feels stuff and that she means it in real, while she was doing the same thing in other cases. She could have felt it for real, and then lost interest because you didn't open up. Or she felt interest for real, but not that interest that you assume that was deep enough. You say you opened up, but then you also say you didn't open up, so I don't know what to believe at this point. Like, I'm very lost in the story. I don't see anything that I don't think she was doing anything wrong by dating other people. Again, you guys weren't locked up in a relationship. Then I locked up because I saw the weird stuff. I don't understand. Your timelines are fucking me up, my guy. Honestly, feel what you want to feel. I'm sorry that it didn't work out. You can't date multiple people. You can date multiple people. You don't have to agree with it, but that's definitely a thing. People date multiple people. People go on different dates and stuff. That's wrong. There's no polygamy. It's not polygamy. You guys aren't in a relationship. Polygamy is if you're in a relationship with multiple people. Dating is not a relationship. Dating is going out on dates and hanging out. It's not a relationship. It was there until I put a stop to it. Sure, okay, I guess you put a stop into it. Congratulations. She definitely dodged a bullet there, not gonna lie. I told Detective Gumshoe about the deal with Lotta. Nick, try telling him sooner next time. Man, you didn't open up to her. You mistrusted her the whole time. Would you want to be with someone who's mistrusting to you for forever? Not really. That's not a fun relationship to be in. Sorry. I see, pal. Sorry for shouting at you. Okay. I, Detective Gumshoe, will aid your search for Gordy. Huh? I'll loan you one of our newest secret weapons for finding evidence. Can you blame me when I was right and saw it coming all the time? Yes, I can blame you. 100%. Because... Well, you tell me. You tell me. Why would I invest in it if I knew? Then why did you invest in it? It sounds like you did invest in it. Beretta! Long time no see. Hello. Welcome back. Yeah, from the start. Yeah, so why did you carry on with it? It sounds like you made a mistake by continuing to date her. But you tell me this, Krovi. You tell me this. Would you go out with someone who doesn't trust you, will consistently ask you questions, and show that they never will ever trust you? Long time no see indeed. How are you, mate? I'm alright. Couple things have happened to me life-wise, in terms of good and bad. I have a health problem that I'm dealing with. But it's been good. We're just getting back into the streams, getting back into it for the new year. Trying to have things happen. How are you, dude? How are you? I hope everything's been good. Especially in the new year. I haven't seen you in a while. It's not that I would never trust someone. Being cautious is not a bad thing to do. Yeah, but it doesn't sound like you even gave her a chance. Would you date someone who would not give you a chance? No, you didn't. You said this exactly. Can you blame me when I was right and I saw it coming all the time? That's not giving her a chance. You also said at the start that you were like, you knew from the beginning. That's not really giving her a chance. And you never put trust in her at all. Again, not giving her a chance. Look, I'm just saying why she would not be interested because I'm not telling her, Penguin. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Glad to hear you're good now. Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Not again, not a bad thing. I didn't get COVID or anything. It's not too bad. Um, yeah, getting there, getting there. I'm not to blame here, Penguin. Well, I'm not saying you're the only one to blame, but I'm not saying either that you're clear from any blame whatsoever. It's a two-way street, and both of y'all fucked up. I'm not dating and doing stuff to multiple girls, then just throwing it aside. Yeah, maybe you're not. But you're also not giving a girl a chance and just off the bat not trusting her and continuously not trusting her and questioning her. Would you actually even go for a girl? It doesn't sound like you would. You can take whichever one you like. Ooh, secret weapons. Okay, give us the goods. Hold on now, everything in due time. First, let me show them to you. These are our best and brightest. Secret weapon number 1. Missile. Missile? He's a canine police dog, still in training. Missile, your boy. Oh, Missile! Here he is. Hey, he's cute. Look, Nick, cute dog. Cute dog. And this will help us how? I mean, he can sniff around. Next, secret weapon number 2. A fishing pole. Here it is. This is my own personal pole. Aww. Look at the gumshoe. We're looking for a monster? Yeah. How are we supposed to catch a whole sea monster with a fishing pole? Never know till you try, pal. I mean, he's got a point. Okay, this one. This next one. This last one. Please, I'm already overwhelmed by our choices. Secret weapon number 3. A metal detector. Here. You said gumshoe. We're looking for something alive. Right. How are we supposed to find it with a metal detector? Hey, you never know. It might have been eating soda cans. Well, what did it be? I can't make up my mind, Nick. They all seem perfect. For the totally opposite reason. I suppose I can't borrow her to borrow one of them. I want to try the fishing pole. Actually, let's borrow a missile. I want the dog. Can you borrow that metal detector? What? Sure thing, pal. I'm not sure we're going to find with this. Remember, you're hunting for a monster. Anything is possible. Anything. No! I want missile. Yay! Well, this one looked promising, like good, this and that. Then she started to act weird, like there's something preventing her to go further. So I was like, yeah, there's someone else. I mean, if she has feelings for multiple ones, it's not my fault that she doesn't know which one to choose. I'm also not a product and never treated like someone like that in my life. But you were an option. Look, it's just hard for me to be on your side when you're saying you never trusted her from the get-go. And like, I don't disagree with you. Like, I personally wouldn't go for a girl who would be dating multiple people. But like the way you're... But the way... Again, that's the point where I'm not on your side. I don't give a fuck if you have a reason. If you want to date someone, you have to give them a chance. You can be weary, sure. You can be cautious, sure. But the way that you describe your cautiousness is like not helpful at all. It's not being cautious. It's just closing walls to people. And again, you have your reasons for it. But I don't know. It didn't seem like it was gonna. It didn't seem like it was gonna progress after you started to continue trusting your doubt. This has been acting strange. Other creatures of the detectives. Hey, I love little doggies. Good boy, good boy. Oh, and a bit thing. What's wrong, Missile? Fuck. Oh, Missile ate all of the stuff. It ate all the hot dogs. Oh, did it kill? Okay, no, it just ate the hot dogs. I'm also being that wants trust to be gained. But I'm not gonna give it in like that. Yeah, but like... Again... Why would you just... Oh, we're just going in circles, Crovey. I'm sorry that it didn't work out. I'm gonna leave it to that. You can believe you were wrong, but I'm also valid to my own opinion that you also fucked up in this situation. And you can not agree with me, but it is just an opinion. He ate every single one. Oh, sorry, Larry. Don't pay my bills, Nick. It's gonna have to this time. Okay. Maybe nothing about thing here. Nothing about a thing here either. And it's all investigated things already. I could be more invested in it, yes, and then I would feel hurt after knowing the truth. That I'm just an option to someone. I'm not gonna discuss it further. Because, again, okay, fine. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. She was an option to you. She wasn't the one. But she was an option, and you were just gonna find another option afterwards. The only thing she's doing is she's doing multiple options at the same time, and you're having options at a singular time. Okay, let's borrow the metal detector. Or the fishing pole. We could go to the lake. She wasn't an option. I was just going for her. If she didn't do weird stuff, I'd really start to invest in her. I'm not that cold. I mean, you sound like a cold-hearted piece of shit sometimes. And you act like one too, so... I don't know. You present yourself like you want to be that cold and cunning and stuff, and I'm like, okay. So I'll treat you like that, and then you're saying you're not. I don't know. It's really confusing, dog. Come on, just a mask. Is it just a mask? Is it really just a mask? Fishing pole. Cool, let's go. Because it's, honestly, dog, I'm going to say this right now, it's really tiring to just keep inflating your ego when it comes to this situation. Let's go. Can I get on the boat and fish? Is that a thing we can do? I didn't know you feel that way. I didn't. It's just sometimes when you're talking about this stuff, it's really hard to converse with you because you don't listen to what I have to say, and you always have something to shoot it down. I might also explain it badly. That could also be the case. But I'm just letting you know that it's also frustrating from my side. Can't catch any fish in the lake. Okay. Like, I am sad for you. Like, it sucks that you had to experience this. You're having your time playing a game. Honestly, sometimes it does get stressful talking to you. I'm gonna be honest. And again, I'm not trying to like tell you that you're not being a good viewer and shit like that. It's just, that's just the way that it is sometimes. Also, nice emote. I haven't seen that one before. I'm just overly cautious, that all. I know, but that could be tiring for so many people. And it could, like... It's really hard for some people to deal with it. Like, you can't present yourself as someone who's cold and protective and also harsh and sharp at the same time and expecting people to be the opposite to you directly. When people are met with coldness, they're gonna show coldness back. I didn't show her that side though, that's why. But you... I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. He's here tomorrow, I'm always the one. Oh, so we couldn't have used the pole? Oh, we get to use the pole here. Okay, okay, okay. We don't have bait. We should have brought Missile along with us too. At least we would have bait. Missile is not bait. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Some tricks are better left untold. Oh, she hit me. Okay, watch this, Nick. Just try not to reel in an empty can or boots, okay? Here we go. Oh no! More film. By the way, yes. Don't tell me y'all are on the film company's payroll. Pay her. My poor, poor wallet. A lot of weight for catching Gordy. A fishing pole? Are you out of your doggone mind? Daggone mind. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a fishing pole. Huh. I never thought of that. Good luck. Thanks. If I don't believe it. But how do I use it? Okay, I guess... I was just wondering why our camping pots and pans made out of aluminum. Oh, the aluminum talk. We're not doing that. Alright, we'll go back to Gumshoe. I know that she fears some shit like falling in love, so because I'm not that cold, I decided that if she tries again, I would help her overcome that. I told her everything about it, so I can just help her with some other guy, I guess. Okay. Again, I don't know what you want me to say after that. Or what you're trying to prove with it. Okay. Metal detector. Anything is hunting. Anything is hunting. I know, Gumshoe. It's actually nice on the inside. I mean, dog, honestly, like, why does my opinion matter? Like, if you're genuinely a nice person and you believe you're a nice person, then you don't have to prove it to me by just telling you stories. You could just believe yourself and carry on the way you act on the internet, or, I don't know, don't be so cold. Because we started this conversation and we just talk. I know, but like... You've also come into the stream and like made fun of the low viewer count. What do you want me to do? I'm just trying to stream. Like, there's a line between like you making fun of the stream and just being insulting. So like, I don't know. Let's present this. Nothing to do. How do I use it? Oh, nice. We just had to go thing. It's beeping. The metal detector's found something. Sure is loud enough about it. Whatever. Must be in those bushes. Why do I have to check it out? Nick. What? Huh? An air tank. That valve looks broken. Why? I thought it was Gordy. First of all, why would Gordy be in the bushes? And second of all, why would a metal detector react to a sea monster? Oh, huh? There's something wrapped around the air tank. Looks like a string of flags. Well, we might as well take it with us now that we found it. It's heavy. An empty air tank, the valve is open, and a banner of flags is wrapped around it. Don't worry, I can't inflate my ego in this. I try electronics to do that. The lower view count was just a joke, though. Don't take it seriously for me. I'm just teasing. I cannot tell if you're teasing sometimes. Banner flags wrapped around it. Does he know anything about it? What? An air tank? What about it? Larry, I wanted to ask you about this. Is it yours? Is this air tank yours? Why would I have a thing like that? Let's see how there's a string of flags around the tank. There's just a string of flags around your steel samurai there. Must be a coincidence. There's a string of flags everywhere these days. Like elementary school and used car dealerships. Why do we need to take the tank anyway? To inflate something. Inflate what? What else? That big puffy steel samurai. Can I pull the card though? I mean, you got points, right? I can pull a card. Why would I go asking me a question like that? Looks like I hit the nail on the head. Actually, the compressor I always use was on the fritz. So I tried using the air tank to inflate it just once, and it's not going so well. It didn't go so well? Yeah, do you think you could be more a little specific? Come on, look, it's embarrassing, so you don't want to talk about it. Tell us, tell us. This one. Okay, you don't want an oracle card? I can give you back your channel points so you can spend it on an oracle card instead. But if you want just a tarot card, then that's perfectly fine as well. Let me know. But I'll grab the deck and set up the camera. I mean, you probably have enough channel points for both, don't you? So you can definitely go for whichever you want. Alright, if you don't know, we'll do the tarot and we'll just go from there. That seems okay. Let's open that. Transition. Cool. I hope the desktop audio and the music is still playing for y'all. Let us draw you a tarot card. I mean, one is not superior to the other. Both get messages on their way out as well. So your card is the Page of Wands. As you can see here, I will read you what it says in the booklet, just to let you know that I'm not making these things up. Page of Wands. A dark young man, faithful, a lover, an envoy, a postman. Beside a man, he will bear favorable testimony concerning him. He's a dangerous rival if followed by the Page of Cups. He has the chief qualities of this suit. It didn't come out in reverse, so it does not mean what the reversals have said. But the Page of Wands does, to me, speak a lot about passions coming forth and passions coming to. So maybe your thing with the girl ended. Your thing with the girl is done. Maybe it's because of another Page of Wands, but this could also be the way that you should approach your next situations, by being the Page of Wands, by letting passion and actually have some faith and some push towards it be one of the things that get you there. The Page of Wands is also really good to know and good to show you that the things you do know about love and the things you do know about like the passions of yourself is still growing. There is much to learn, much to build upon. Maybe you know a lot already, but there are still things that you can understand a little better than you have. And with the page, again, it is young energy. That's why I say that. Because, you know, it's not a knight, it's not a king, it's not a queen. All adult, higher up energies. This one does feel more of like... I don't know crap about love. Honestly, who does? Who does? My current girlfriend... Why did I say it like that? My girlfriend, I got lucky and found her. A lot of people just find love and are lucky about it. I think someone does. I don't believe that at all. We have ideas and what we think we know about love. But in all honesty, fucking half of us, we all probably found the person that we're going to be with in a very lucky way. So just keep an open mind, I guess, when it comes to it. So that could just be an open mind with yourself even. Like, still definitely listen to yourself. If there's signs and red flags that you're listening to, like you did with the last one, definitely listen to that. Definitely, like, go for it. But also, if there are signs inside of you that says, hey, this is actually going good, let's just ask this question. Let's see where this goes. Follow that as well. That is just as important as you protecting yourself, is pursuing things as well. Yeah, that's pretty much the card. I hope that made sense. I quite like doing these now. I haven't done a tarot stream in a very long time, and I'm kind of scared to do another one, to be honest. Oh, you want an oracle? Okay. We'll keep it on the screen then. What do you mean by you like those? What do I like? It sounds like you're currently on a journey, or a new journey is beginning for you, so we'll do the Travelers. Well, tarot and stuff. Yeah, I love tarot. I mean, that's how you found me, right? Doing a tarot stream. Actually, was that how you found me? I don't fully remember. Ooh. I don't know what I was doing back then. No, neither of us two. Actually, no, I do remember. I have a log of all the things that I've done. This is your card, Gates of Triumph. Success expands in your life. So let me find that here. Cool. So the Gates of Triumphs are waiting to open deep... What? The Gates of Triumphs are waiting to open deep and wide for you. Inner and outer successes is coming your way. Thriving is a state of mind. Accept that you can reach any goal you desire, and even more victories will expand in your life. The more you feel it, the more love, prosperity, fame, and fortune will pour into your life. The Traveler wants you to know that arriving in a foreign hamlet, wreaths of flowers and placed around the sacred traveler's shoulders. The townspeople celebrate and honor the traveler. The village elders know the challenges faced and overcome and are welcoming with open arms. If a situation knocks you over, get up and brush yourself off and discover what you learned. You aren't a failure if you fall down, only if you stay down. So keep going and believe in yourself. This is what true success is. Acknowledge your accomplishments in life. They are more than you imagine. Victory, good fortune, and triumph are at hand. So again, this is just letting you know that you shouldn't give up. There's always going to be a lucky thing to do. Just because this girl wasn't the one doesn't mean you should stop looking for love and meeting people and trying to give other people chances. So there's that opportunity there for you to keep going with it as well. That gate will open. It is also just a lot about a mindset as well. Again, even just putting to the universe that this can work out, this will be fine, and whether it be in love, whether it be in whatever else, in work even, you just gotta give that mindset that it's gonna work out, it'll be fine, and whatever comes you can deal with. So I guess a new job is gonna be fun. I'm still gonna try to push it with the girl. Yes, I'm pissed off, but I understand because I'm locked up as well. So, locked up as in lockdown. Maybe you don't have to push it with this girl. Maybe you can just find a different one. Because again, like, you are totally valid in saying that you don't want to be with someone who is dating with other people and talking around with other people. Locked up emotionally, yeah. But like, again, you have a valid point that you shouldn't. If you don't want a girl, if that's not attractive to you and that's a red flag for you, then it's a red flag for you. My point in our conversation earlier is just saying that people are just like that. Some people just do that. It's not necessarily right or wrong. It's just a thing that people do. I think keep your heart open to the other opportunities around you as well. I think you have other opportunities there for you. So just believe in yourself, take what you learned from this, and take that next step. Whatever it is, it's like that what I said about the compressor was busted. So I took the tank and tried to fill it with samurai up with that. Then, blam. The valve busted open and made this incredible noise. And the tank there took off like a rocket. It took my poor deflated steel samurai with it. Oh my god, the steel samurai is Gordy. She is okay, it's just that I don't know, and I wanted to know. Now that I know, I think I can deal with that. Okay. So it's not over, is what you're saying. Off to Gourd Lake? It sure scared me out of my gourd. It sure scared me out of my gourd, that's for sure. Wait, that was it? Oh, the flying air tank. Thank God. So the tank and the steel samurai you were trying to flew away. What happened next? Well, all that happened on the 20th or so. 20th. The 20th, a week ago. As far as I could see, the tank went flying into the lake. So I went out every night into the boat looking for it. I mean, Kianse gave me that steel samurai after all. And when did you find it? Just the night before last. Oh, so he was on the lake as well! It flew all the way out there. It took me 4 whole days to find it. The night before the night of the murder. Sorry for not telling you, Nick. Actually, I was here on the night of the murder. But, you see, I went home before midnight. So you didn't know about what happened, so before midnight. No. That's too bad. 12:15, so before midnight. We solved one mystery at least. We should go tell her. Okay. Yo, I'm back. What's up, Lemon? I got a call, lol. Hopefully it was a good call and not a bad one. We're looking for the secret monster, the lake monster. Because she has information that she wants to give us. I don't know if that's where you left off. How can y'all be so sure? Really, Nick? Y'all got some proof Gordy don't exist. The proof that Gordy doesn't exist is here. Of course I have proof. No lawyer worth his badge would make a claim without proof to back it up. Here's the proof that Gordy doesn't exist. This is not the proof that Gordy doesn't exist. Larry's air tank? A friend of mine has a possibility of being positive. Oh my god! Okay, that was an important call. Positive for the Optimus Prime? Just a possibility, so it was a good call. Okay. I guess, yeah, a test would be the real news. Also, yeah, after I heard my girlfriend's brother call Omicron Optimus Prime, I can't stop calling it Optimus Prime now as well. Damn. Fingers crossed for you, my guy. I remember when my teammate... Not positive Prego, thankfully. That would be news. I don't know how you would react to that news. If you yourself were pregnant. After, like, being a dude your whole life and you find out, huh, when did I do this test? This is Gordy. Excuse me, what exactly are you saying, Nick? There's a stand near here, a hot dog stand. There's a giant inflatable samurai doll there. About a week ago, an idiot who happens to be a friend of mine tried to fill it. He used this air tank, and when the valve blew, the tank flew into the lake. Apparently it made a pretty loud bang when it flew. A bang. That's so sad for the Steel Samurai. The tank, along with the still deflated the samurai, fell into the lake at the same time. The couple was taking a photo of the lake. This photo. And splash. I think when I come back later, I will have things in normal state. So I just need to keep pushing it. Alright. Again, Curvy, just listen to yourself. Listen to how you feel. But also, because I feel like you had many instances where you believed that things were going to go good, but then you kept doubting yourself. You're going to be fine, fam. You're going to be fine. And I'm sorry if I was very pressed earlier. I just am. But I'm glad I got it off my chest. And I hope you don't feel like shit about it, because I still would like you here. You're still fun. I just need to clear some things up so we can, like, kind of sort out where we are. The Gordy's the Steel Samurai. That's a fine way to ruin a gal's dreams. I'm sorry, Lotta. Nah, it's okay. You win. I'll give you your info like I promised. I feel so bad for Lotta. Lotta Heart just had her heart dropped. So tell us the information you have. Promise is a promise, I guess. I overheard the cops around here saying something about this witness tomorrow. No, I don't care. I think I said it wrong and wasn't honest about all stuff. Okay. That's fair. I do understand that I was thing. Not a heart, more like not a heart. That's what Phoenix is. Like saying that I have feels is just blah. I know. It's not an easy thing to accept the feels about it. They said he's the caretaker of the boat rental place up the path here. The boat rental. Oh, so the caretaker. There's someone there. I mean, it looks so deserted. Just an old guy living all by himself. Y'all should go check it out. Thanks, Lotta. We will. Let's get cracking, Nick. Hold on. Something else? Yeah. The night of the murder. My camera clicked twice, you know. Fucking knew it. Of course it clicked twice. Wait, so you have another photo? Well, yeah, but there's nothing in it at all. Just the lake. So I figured it wouldn't be much use as evidence, so I kept it to myself. Well, that might not be helpful at all, but here, take it. Empty lake taken automatically on 12/24 at 11:50. Could that have been Larry, though? No, because he was on the lake at the night of the murder. Sorry. Larry's thing was in the daytime. Time for me to pack up and leave. I'm sorry, Lotta. Poor Lotta. It's all Larry's fault. The legend still lives on, I guess. The legend? Yeah, the legend of Larry. Familiar to all who know him for any length of time. When something smells, it's usually the butts. That's tempering with evidence. This whole game is tempering with evidence. This whole game is so fucking illegal. Like, the prosecution is actually withholding evidence from the court, telling the witnesses what to say and what not to say, but also, we are the defense, putting our grubby hands and picking up evidence everywhere. I don't know if that's allowed or not. It feels like it's not. Excuse me. Ugh. This whole game is so fun, but holy shit, it's illegal. Someone should whip that butt into shape. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna save here. I want to see if we can actually get to court. You good? I'm good. Sorry, it was the vibrations of my phone, and I think it's messing with the mic. I'm sorry if that like bothers y'all when that happens. I'll just move my phone. And no, I'm not okay about the illegal shit that we do. We're supposed to withhold justice. And why are we doing some Robin Hood shit? We're supposed to withhold justice. I'm not gonna be okay with that. Hey Nick, this is the boat shop that Lotta was talking about. You're right. Doesn't seem to be anyone around at all. Let's go check it out anyway. Alright. The door. But that's everything. I guess the boats again? Mm-hmm. Maybe we can go back to... Oh, we can go back to Gumshoe. Oh, caretaker shack. Interesting. How do we get in? Why is there a parrot? Is it real? Meg, is that you? Hey, is that Keith with you? Breaking in and entering. Right? We have no permission to be here. I wonder if someone has actually like listed up all the crimes in Phoenix, right? All of the crimes committed by Phoenix, right? Unless this is a spoiler. Nope, these are just all the evidence from all the stories. I want to sit with someone who knows the law and is like, here's all of the crimes that have been committed in the series about the law. Because if you guys, I don't know, this is going to sound real fucking stupid, but I watched an iCarly analysis, like a two-parter. It was like 8 hours long, both videos. It was like 5 hour and then like a 3 hour video or something. And he listed out all the iCarly crimes or the iCrimes. Holy shit, there's a lot of crimes that go on in iCarly. And not just like the simple battery or like, what's the word? Assault. And not just battery or assault either. Like, do you remember the time when they built a fucking like they built a nuclear reactor, like an illegal nuclear reactor on the internet and powered their fucking show with it? That show was a lot. I loved iCarly, but that show was a lot. It's okay. Sorry, this dude's been fucking going back and forth this whole time. Where have you been? I've been worried sick. Nick, you handle this. I think I'll leave this up to you, Maya. Meg? Yes? Oh, now we're impersonating other people. Finally made up your mind, have you? My mind? You run the pasta shop when I'm gone. Pasta? Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. You make your old man proud. When you kids left the house, I didn't know what to think. He doesn't even know their own children. How am I supposed to keep this place running, an old man like me? Polly, the kids are home. Sod it. Nick, what was that? A parrot. The one on that perch. Apparently it said Sadu. Keith. Yes? I leave the wet noodle in your capable hands, Sonny. Nick, what's the wet noodle? Based on the available evidence, I say that this name of his pasta shop? That's a relief, isn't it, Polly? Sod it. Yep. Fell asleep. Guess he's relieved. Well, let's examine, I guess. There's a lot of various fish on the gourd, like, aren't there? Something's funny, Nick. All these fish are saltwater fish. Look, Nick, he has an electric blanket on his table. Looks warm. That's a great idea. We should do that in the office. We can sit down with our clients, snug and warm, and drink hot cocoa. Oh, yes, please. I kind of cannot wait for winter, so hot chocolate's actually, I can drink properly again. And what about, talk about murders? Aw, you're a party pooper, Nick. Wow, he has a television in here, too. He's gonna be a witness in the next court. Yeah, probably. Wow, what an amazing parrot that is. Morning. Hello? It ignored me. Fuck, that parrot's gonna be in the case. Oh my god, that parrot's gonna be evidence. That parrot's gonna be evidence. Holy shit. Okay. What, you forgot, Meg? You gotta call her name first. Her name? Polly, how have you been? Sod it. Sod it. See? Neat. So the parrot's name is Polly. Fucking why? Why is it evidence? The erstwhile companion of the boat shop caretaker answers to the name Polly. Too bad all she can say is hello. Haha. Old Polly can say a lot of things. You just need to know the secret words. Like murder. The secret words? Polly, what's your name? Polly! Sorry, fuck. It just should be Sadu. Cute. I found a new friend. Bro, that bird looks like it's seen some shit. That eyes is dead as fuck. Polly's the killer. Polly's probably the killer. But look at those eyes. That's a murderer looking. It's so white. It's so empty. Shit. I cannot. Funny, he doesn't look like the type to maybe keep bringing things tidy like that. You're forgetting, Nick. He's running a pasta shop here. Interesting. So, let's talk to the boatsman. Oh, a fishing rod. Fishing pole looks expensive. Fuck. Why? A pasta shop? Yep, to think the wet noodle will live on when I'm gone. My father started it, you know, so that makes you two the third generation. Meg, yes? Tomorrow, we'll start with the secret of dough tossing. Dough tossing? You too, Keith, yes. You'll be the best pasta wrangler the West has ever seen. Pasta wrangler? The West? Isn't pasta from Italy? Meg! Yes? You know the best pasta's always been made west of the Rockies, don't you? Right, of course, everybody knows that. Nick, huh? How long do we have to keep up this the all in the family charade? This one must know something about the murder. We're not leaving till we find out what that is. Also, for translation's sake, they must have done pasta, but I wonder what it was in Japan. Like, it could be ramen. They could be happening at a ramen shop or like a sushi shop. Or, like, I don't know. The food on the table, I can't really tell. It looks like a spam musubi, but it doesn't look like it at all. Like, what is that? What's like a fried thing with a seaweed wrapped on it? Or I guess it might not even be fried, right? It could just be a seaweed wrapped something. The boat rental shop. Why do we keep popping his bubble? This is a boat rental shop, right? What are you talking about? This here's the palace of the pasta, the wet noodle. Though, now that you mention it, we haven't gotten any orders for spaghetti lately. Rice crackers. That is a thing. In Yakuza, you ran a rice cracker shop. All the kids come up and say, "Yo, dude, we want to ride one of your boats." That's why I keep them boats out there. Youngsters these days, darned if I understand them. I'm pretty confused myself. Nick, this isn't going anywhere, but this old man is the witness tomorrow, right? We've got to find some way of getting information out of him. My memory's gotten worse of late. That's why I just tell everything important to old Polly here. Of course it's Polly. Polly's the key to this case. I wonder. Polly, what's the number to the safe? 1128. Bitch. Alright. What did you say, Polly? Hey, Polly, watch it, will ya? See, Nick, all it takes is a little clever thinking. And a criminal mind. Quick, Nick, write that number down. Hey, don't get me involved in your little heist schemes. Polly's a snitch. Polly's a fucking snitch. 1128. Little safe. It's locked. What? Why can we not? Wait, why can't we open it? Wait, are we not supposed to open it? Let's talk to Polly a bit more. I'm not convinced that this is everything. Also, an empty delay taken automatically at 1150. 1150. So that was the third shot. Because if she saw 2 shots, well, she didn't really see 2 shots, huh? Because it would have been 1150, the murder one at 12:15, and that was it. Unless there was something else. Anyway. Can I present something to him that would wake him up? Remember that tricolor pasta we were talking about? Our rainbow lioli? I figured out the last color. We should use indigo blue. Indigo blue? That didn't seem to work the way I thought it might. Rainbow lioli. We didn't find anything about the murder. Rainbow lioli. Next we can ask about Gordy. That should be fun. Oh, I wanted to open the thing so bad. Again, we have the code. I'm gonna see Gumshoe. This is the Gumshoe isn't here. Now that you mention it, didn't he say he had a meeting to go to? Ah, that's right, let's come back later. Okay, fuck, so we still gotta do a meeting. We have to do things with the guy then, still. Edgeworth? I'm questioning, let's come back later. Ah, fresh air, I gotta say, freedom feels great. Behave yourself in court tomorrow, okay? Misbehaving is more fun. It's not gonna be so much fun when Edgeworth refuses to pay your bail again. Right, I'll behave. Oh dear. What to do? And everything in this room is complete. Maybe Grossberg. Nothing in Grossberg. I kind of want to get to court before I finish. I also don't have work tomorrow, so like I really can. I'm able to not do this. Or I'm able to stay up a little late. Okay, we're back inside. What can we present to you that will make you feel like we have something? I hate how we have to keep waking up as well. One, 2, 2, 8. One, 2, 2, 8. Okay, maybe I bring up Polly with Larry. Will Larry have anything to say about Polly? Nope. I wonder what he has to say now. Resistance is futile. We have you surrounded. It's not too late. Release the hostage and come out with your hands up. You must be doing some training again. Come on. So we checked the detention center. We checked Cord Lake. No music here. Do police practice those lines? I would hope that they don't practice it and they just know what to say in a situation. But that dude apparently imagine slipping up. Please jump! Oh god, wait! Yeah, that'd be so scary. Or like you tell the hostage to put their hands up. Oh, the lawyer's badge was the thing I had to show. That's a lawyer's badge. Yes, it is. I don't believe it. This old guy is the first person to recognize my badge. I get it. Huh? Yep, I got you figured out now. You're not Keith. Nick, now's a chance to clear things up. Sir, no, I'm not Keith. And I'm not Meg either. We're investigating a murder that took place on this lake the other night. Please help us. A lawyer, huh? Please, mister. Alright, I'll help, but on one condition. What's that? When this case is over and done, you'll run the wet noodle. We'll run the wet noodle. Okay, we promise. Nick, are you sure about this? Anything to get this case solved. Also, who would want to eat Phoenix noodles? Who wouldn't want to eat Phoenix noodles? Phoenix noodles does sound lit. But, like, do you think that's the spiciest thing in the world? Or do you think it's going to be like a really refreshing noodle? I feel like fire. Phoenix noodles sound good. I guess so. That's my boy. Good for you, Keith. Wait, didn't you just... You too, Meg. Yeah. Oh, God, come on. You bring a tear to your old man's eyes, you know. Now, what is that you wanted to know? Speak up, Polly. Sorry. Now he's talking to get the bird again. How do we get him to talk to us? Wait, we did the badge. Oh, come on. Wait, maybe Polly has something to say. Nope. Polly has nothing to say. Yep, I seen this. You know something about this, sir? Keith, yes? It's okay, you can call me Dad. Dad, do you know something about this? Yep, the other night, out on the lake. Yep. I know all about that, I seen it. What? Tell us what you saw. Well, I suppose, since you're taking over the shop after all. I forget the time, but it was pretty dark outside. Probably night. We cook it in the ashes. Wait, what if you like burn, I don't know, like chicken? Or like you crisp up chicken skin and then you grind it so it kind of has like it's like a sandy ash texture, and that's one of the things that goes into the noodles. Like as a garnish on top. That doesn't actually sound good. That just sounds really salty. It's like really, really salty. How could you do a phoenix noodle? What could a phoenix noodle look like? I heard this bang, so I looked outside. Then I heard another bang. A little while later, this boat comes back. Then a young man walked by my window here. He was muttering something to himself. Yup. What'd he say? I forgot. I'll remember tomorrow by court time, promise. Fuck, we have to interview Polly, don't we? We need to know earlier than that. You know what? Little Terry was just here. Terry? The kid next door. He always used to make him cry, remember? He was wearing this tattered old coat, got himself some whiskers growing on his face. Comes up and tells me to come down to court tomorrow. Really? I don't think we're going to get much use out of this guy. We should be leaving. I think you're right. Oh wait, I had one more question. Polly, have you forgotten something? DL6, baby. What, Polly? Huh? What did she just say, Nick? One more time, Polly. Don't forget DL6, dog. The DL6 incident. Hey, mister, I mean Dad. This is getting weird. Who is this old guy? Why would that bird Polly know about DL6? We have to figure out what this old man is. Oh, what? He locked the door from the other side. Come on, I wanted to see what was in the safe. Okay, now we can go to Gumshoe. Hey pal, long time no see. You don't look so happy. What's wrong this time? Actually, we wanted to ask you something. Yeah? You know the boat rental shop down at the Gourd Lake? Yeah, the old man who runs it is appearing as a witness in court tomorrow, right? Huh? How'd you... that was supposed to be top secret. Do you know who that old man is, Detective? He's a bit of an odd bird. I haven't been able to get a straight answer out of him. I decided first that he wasn't persuasive enough to stand and testify as a witness. That's why we called it Miss Lotta Hart yesterday. As for who he is, we have absolutely no clue. Sounds suspicious. Detective, can you please help us? Huh? We need to know about the DL6 incident. That was when Edgeworth's father died. I can't help but think it's something to do with this current case. To tell the truth, I don't know much about DL6 either. Mr. Edgeworth forbade us from reading the file. So, I'm afraid I can't show them to you either, pal. What? However, if you can convince me somehow the DL6 incident is related to this case, Well, I guess I'd consider open up this file. Oh, I have to present it, sorry. What's that, a parrot? The old man at the boat rental shop had a parrot. The parrot knew about the incident. That incident? DL6. What? A parrot? Have you forgotten something? DL6, dog. DL6. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, I need a quick timeout. Just give me a second. I'm pretty sure the old man must have taught her that word. Yeah, but how would that old man know about the DL6 incident? Wait, what if the old man was connected to the DL6 incident? Nick, you think he might be? I get ya. Sounds like you need information of the DL6 incident. Through there's the station's records room. I gave you special permission to go in and find out what you need. And I will also make sure of another thing. Bing, 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 bong. Alright, let's go. Records room. Oh, big save time, actually. Okay. Woo, here we go. Amazingly dusty. 10 years of files and 10 years of dust, I guess. Let's find that DL6 stuff quick. 15 years ago, both me and Edgeworth were 9 years old. We were almost through with 4th grade when he suddenly transferred. Because of DL6? Nick, I found out where the file is. Oh, thanks. Just let me know what you want to know about the DL6 incident. I'll go right into the file. Let's examine all these reports. I guess my sister's case report is here too. Quietly gathering dust. Oh, I'm sorry, Maya. Okay, that seems to be everything? Nope. Alright. Case summary. Well, first I've got to get the handle on the main facts like a summary. Right. Summary. Found it. Here you go. December 28, 2001. Exactly 15 years ago. Today after tomorrow. So in 2 days the case is closed. The incidents took place in the elevator of the district courthouse. The same district courthouse we're in holding trial now. Looks like it. There was a large earthquake at 2 p.m. on that day. Part of the court building collapsed and all of the lights went out. So that's why he's scarred by earthquakes. At the time, 3 people were trapped in the elevator. It took 5 hours for them to be rescued. 5 hours, damn. Yeah, in the dark. There was a lack of oxygen in the elevator, and the survivors were unconscious. The survivors. One of the 3 in the elevator had been shot in the heart. That's Mr. Edward's father. He said that his father was shot before his very eyes. So Edgeworth was one of the passengers in the elevator. Hold on. Victim, here we go. Gregory Edgeworth, 35, defense attorney. If he were still alive, he'd be 50. He had lost that day's case in court and got into the elevator with his son, Miles. Miles Edgeworth, of course. So he was in the elevator with his father, yeah. And the angle of the bullet and other evidence could not have been suicide. The murder weapon was a pistol found in the elevator. The pistol had been fired 2 times. Where have I heard that before? It sounds like this current case. What's going on here? I mean, yeah, the murder seems the same. 2 times. Fired 3 times. Idea on the suspect. Maybe the guy that my mom got arrested. Yanni Yogi. He was a clerk in the court, apparently. So he must have been the 3rd person in the elevator. Then he had have done it. But he was found innocent thanks to his defense lawyer, Robert Hammond. Hammond, the victim in our case. The suspect, Mr. Yogi, was oxygen deprived so much so he had brain damage. He lost all memory of being in the elevator. After he was declared innocent, he disappeared. I guess I know generally what happened in DL6 now. I still don't know. Do we have all of these here? No, we don't. I still don't know what sort of impact the whole thing had on Edgeworth. Are we gonna take the whole file? There's too much. We'll never get it out. You're right. How about we just take what we need? Final DL6 incident out of the record courtroom. Cool, so we have the things from DL6. That's probably all we're able to find here. Now all that's left is the trial tomorrow. I wonder how Dad will do testifying in court. The parrot is going to talk. Parrot of Justice. Man, I feel like I should have. I feel like I want to just play it. Cool. Wait, how long are football games? Three hours and 12 minutes, but this can vary drastically. So if the game is at 12:30, that means it'll be over by it'll be over by 4. Okay. Well, we'll just be a little late. Football or soccer or American? American football. So tomorrow is the conference championships, and the Niners-Rams game is at 12:30 p.m. for us here. But my Frisbee team wants to do some throws and run around for a bit at around 4 tomorrow. So hopefully the game finishes around... It's not going to finish around 3:30. I would hope it finishes at 3:30, and then I get to drive over to the thing. It takes me like 30 minutes to get to the place. Be there by 4. If not, I'll just update the team. Should be chill. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth and the saving of the files. Fuck it, we're just gonna play. I'll wait. If my girlfriend messages me and I have to leave, I'll have to leave. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, apparently the prosecution is also ready. Who's the judge here anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Very well, no opening statements, so... What the fuck? Not so fast, Judge. I was just taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end in 3 minutes from now. Bitch, we have like another hour. Mr. Von Kalman, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Why are you objecting? I'm asking you a question. Bah, you mustn't question everything. It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I call my witness right now. I call my witness, my decisive witness to the stand. Is that mysterious boat shop owner? Nope, it's the parrot. Nope, it's the boat shop owner. It will be the parrot. Witness, state your profession. 3 minutes just like how long he lasted last night. The proprietor of the restaurant at the Wet Noodle at Gourd Lake. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were at the boat rental shop, correct? Yep, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. We haven't heard who this old guy is. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah. I have predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking the trivial questions and cooperate. Yeah, right. Well, we need the name. The witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure. What do you mean? My, memory... Your Honor, the witness does not remember anything beyond last night, beyond the last several years. The witness doesn't remember anything, then! Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. He can't recall his own name, you say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Very well, let's hear his testimony then, shall we? Why are we asking him to testify if he can't remember his own name? It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. I was in the restaurant to rent boats as usual. Then I heard a bang. I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating around the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, comes back to the shore, a man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. Fuck off. There's nothing to question in my witness testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict now. Oh, yes. Mr. Wright? Cross-examine, what the fuck? What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Why are you yelling? 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. Night of the 24th. Just after midnight, you say? Yep, just around then. You sure? Be sure. When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today. I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right? Fuck, we're gonna have to go through this goddamn animation the whole time. Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it. I clearly did. Continue. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats as usual. Is there anyone who can verify that? I guess Polly could. That's not good enough for a court of law. Mr. Wright, exactly what's not good enough? Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot? Don't be hard on the girl, Keithy boy. Keith? The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. Witness, please continue. Then heard a bang. And where did the bang come from? From the lake, I figure. Are you certain? Yup. Good. Continue. Okay. Was there someone in the boat? It was pretty far out there. I couldn't see clearly, but I figured there was 2 men out there. But you couldn't see them clearly. That's the time that it is. At that time. Wait. Wait, at that time. At the time, that is. Oh, sorry, did I fuck up something? No, we're still streaming. Okay. I heard another bang. 2 gunshots total. Yep. That's what Lotta said in her testimony yesterday. Come back on the shore where a man walks by my window. By your window. Yep, my window right outside the window of my little shack. And you could see the man's face? Well, the fog is pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. That's a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. I have a bad feeling about this. That one was the defendant. I was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Shit. I can't believe he's dead. You sure? Uh-oh. Dad. Dead certain, Keith? He said, I can't believe he's dead as he was walking by too. He's got a nice pink cardigan. I would love to have that. Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy. This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. He lured me to cross-examine so he could set me up for this. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. I better act quick. Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing the man from his left? Exactly. That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You're ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in the witness testimony is true. Lost in thought, what should I do? Raise an objection. Your Honor, this witness claims that Edward said, I can't believe he's dead. But his words is all we have. If he were telling a lie... Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently, you have yet to realize this, even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof. I don't know what to do anymore. Can you help me, sis, please? We need your help. Nick needs you. 3 minutes is perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough, the witness may leave the stand. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. What? This court finds the defendant Mr. Miles Edgeworth. What? The accused will surrender to court immediately, to be held in pending trial at the higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned. Did I fail? Wait. Who was that just now? Me, huh? What? Larry? What are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until yesterday. But today I remembered it. Remember what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Fucking Larry Butts coming in to save our asses. Hell yeah, Larry. What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot, that's right. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said. It was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you all call Edgy a murderer. It isn't. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Order, order. Well, this is the first time something like this has happened in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Your Honor, if there's another witness in it's our duty to hear them speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. A verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it's our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistakes have been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Mr. Von Kammer, I already called this witness to testify. Now. What? The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear what this new witness. Interesting. Court is adjourned. Larry. Okay. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right. Edgeworth, you're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there. Larry was at the lake that night. Yep. Fishing out. Yeah, the samurai. He found the balloon in the air tank that night. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something right. Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Oh. If we could just listen to what Edgeworth saw. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have any reason, really. I see. Right, yeah. This might be our chance. Our chance. Juan Karma has only run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. That's his secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. It was 15 minutes. 15. Everything's on Larry now. Oof. Everything is on Larry now. I'm scared. I'm scared. This can happen, though. We can be fine. We can still be fine. Diddle-diddle-doom. Witness, please testify to the court about everything you saw. On the night of December 24th. But right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Well, Karma didn't even have a time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about being a big break. God. That night I was out in the boat on the lake. I was looking for something and I found it. So quietly slipped the boat back into the rental shop dock. Wow, I cannot read. Then I just saw Jen just as I was thinking. I was going home and I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far, Rick. There's no way to go There's no way to go but forward. Okay. There were so many things wrong. I don't know where to begin. Well, first of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11. I went out in the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out on a boat at such a late hour? I was looking for something. I didn't find it. Looking for something? Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? What the new witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy. That's surprisingly close to the truth in a sense. This is all irrelevant, so let's just get over with. So I quietly slipped the boat back at the rental shop dock. Around what time was that? Oh, let's see. I figure if I was searching for about an hour, I guess it was around 12. So empty lake at 11:50. You're not sure? Hey, don't give me that face. I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. And I'm just thinking about going home. I heard this bang. Yeah, but I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked down, but I didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order, order. Well, Mr. Butts. Whoa, whoa. Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat there or not. Okay, that's the problem. That's the most important part of this case. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Well, Nick... Sorry, this is like panic saving, I know. Fired 3 times and bears prints. Empty lake at 11:50. Nope, this is wrong. But I didn't see a boat. Okay. The erstwhile companion of the boat shop caretaker. I heard 2 sounds like gunshots just after midnight. Oh, this was the thing. That single gunshot. It was Lotta's. Yeah, it was Lotta's thing. Excuse me. Wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang? You sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention to at all what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? Like a customer here. So you gotta treat me like nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butts, what? You only heard 1 gunshot, are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Not sure? How could you be not sure? Yeah, well, I, might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude, with my headphones. Oh my god, Larry. What? Order, order, and stop that booing. Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio with your headphones. Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio, everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? A waste of time. I do not accept this witness, nor this shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should you continue the testimony? Alright, please. Please allow this witness to continue his testimony. Bah! Nothing more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were anyone believe me. I got such a lack of trust for Larry, but Larry's gonna save the day! It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening on all requests to show on the radio. I was listening to it real booming loud like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying too when I heard it. You were listening to your radio at a high volume. Yeah, what's the big problem? Can a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word the witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe his testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly when the DJ said when he heard the gunshots. Excuse me? DJ? The announcer, the guy who says things on the radio? Anyway, What this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. Whew. You have a girlfriend, but she's overseas in Hawaii. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know. You don't know what it's like out here alone on Christmas Eve. Alone. I should have said something. I shouldn't have said anything. Do you have any chance to remember the name of the program you were listening to? There's nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That is all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud was your radio set last night? Real booming loud. Yeah, you know. And your headphones on. Yep. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all. Can you prove that? No, of course you can't. No, I can't prove it. But I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? I remember exactly what the DJs was saying, too. So what did the DJ say? Mr. Wright, please cease the pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what the DJ radio said do to us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. It all show question only see reason why we should care. We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Vi. Well, how do you know if we don't ask him? Fine, very well. Mr. Bush, could you please testify to the court? What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Interesting. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Even Karma was right. I'm not sure how it's helped us at all. This is ludicrous testimony I've ever heard, but there's one gleaming ray of hope in there. We got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. When did I last save, actually? 21, 28. Okay, we'll work off of the save. We have one off, and we should be okay. Shows us an empty lake, taken automatically 12:24 at 11:50 p.m. That's not correct. I mean, it doesn't contradict it at all. Okay, let's repress with the stuff. Cool. Cool. So that just loops us in. Okay. Let's look at our evidence. Picture. Just after midnight. I heard two sounds like gunshots just after midnight. Well, yeah, if it says it's almost Christmas, it's just after midnight. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with that face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know it don't scare that easy. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and? Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But that contradicts the two testimonies we heard so far, Your Honor. Both Miss Hart and the old man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order, order, what does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, the witness say he's heard gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him, suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim to be heard after midnight? Before midnight. Larry's right. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence that there was gunshot before midnight. This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That the 3rd shot was the shot that Larry heard just before midnight. Where is this taking us? Where are we going with it? I'm very confused. I guess that would make sense out of your yesterday's testimony. But you waste our time again with your empty statements. Yes, the pistol was fired 3 times. But do you have any proof that it was fired before midnight? Do you have proof that the witness didn't just think he heard something? Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Do you have evidence that proves that there was a gunshot before midnight? Oh yes, the picture. You know what? I'm gonna do this just in case. Empty lake, 1150. Look at this photograph. This was taken by a witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp of the photo reads December 24, 11:50 p.m. Oh yeah, But there's nothing in the nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. The camera that was set to go in response to loud noises. Correct. There was a loud noise in the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, there was a gunshot at the time that Larry claims. Order, order. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen on the lake that night on the lake. Exactly. This shows there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 35 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 11:15, another and one at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why? You better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshot separated by 25 minutes. Sorry, Nick, I have it. I have it, huh? Remember that case with the Steel Samurai? Yeah, of course I remember. The murder in this case had the same idea as the murder in that case. What do you mean? Maya, yep. If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edward's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch and I'm gonna run with it. Right. Is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Your Honor, yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. Oh, I hate it when he says things so surely and I don't know what he's thinking. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realize the truth. There can be no other murder here than Mr. Isles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, Rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, 1 boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on the boat. Revenge. There was a gunshot fired on the boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter and it could have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit it's hard to imagine any other possibility, yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence at the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says, 15 minutes after midnight. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boats are. I'm gonna say Edgeworth and the murderer. I'm gonna go back to that 28-minute save file. Well, because Edgeworth was on the boat. If we're ruling out Hammond, it's gonna be Edgeworth and the murderer. Of course it was the Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous, Mr. Wright. Tell us the name of the murderer, then. The murderer's name? Right, it's... What? I don't know. We don't know the murderer's name. Yanni Yogi, probably. After his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. Yanni Yogi! Wait. No officers depleted, no clues are found. Gregory Edgeworth, 35, defense attorney, trapped in the elevator. Returning from a lost trial with son Miles Edgeworth, age 9. One bullet found in heart. The murder weapon was fired twice. Court bailiff, trapped in the elevator in Edgeworth's. With the Edgeworths. Memory loss due to oxygen deprivation. After his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. Well, actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time! I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go to all the way out to the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on a boat? Well then, where did it take place? Show the judge where the murder really took place. Here, of course, the boat shop, where he lives. That way, he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have proof that the boat shop was at the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. I guess there was no boat at the time of 11:50 when the first shot happened. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head out for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very close by. And where would he be if that boat had just returned? The boat shop. Hold on. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please, tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. Oh, we're getting somewhere. We can actually finish... Is it day 3 already? It's only the second court trial, though. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. That's around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Oop, sorry. I'm hooked. Yeah, dude, I'm fucking feeling it too. I'm gonna finish it out. I need to change my headphones as well. At least I'll finish out this court procession because I feel like there's gonna be more investigating in day 2, and I do feel like the parrot is really gonna come into play at some point. Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? So... Miles wouldn't have shot the gun because Miles didn't have the gun. Miles was... As Miles said, he picked up the gun afterwards, so I would say the boat shop caretaker. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice, both Miss Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute, yes. Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details, details. No, this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. This is why the murderer had to fire twice. To create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then... the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop, then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, then threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Cord Lake. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Wanna bet he's like disappeared? Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Whoa, Edgy's on the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard that what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir. Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? Find him quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. Mr. Von Kammer, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find the witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. DL6 is gonna be the final thing. Woo! Okay, we're gonna wait for it to fade to black, and then we're gonna cut the stream here. Yay, Nick, you did it! Yeah, well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure. Once I sifted through his unique testimony, still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right, there's something that's been troubling me for a long time now. And I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth. No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off. I want to tell you to get off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. What is it about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. Ah, cliffhanger! Oh man, it's also so late. I'm gonna go to bed. I may not have work tomorrow, but I have to paint. A memory of a murder. A memory of a murder. Okay, I kind of want to see this before we go. What is Mr. Edgeworth talking about? Oh, so he didn't tell us. A memory of a crime that I committed. Memory of a murder. A memory, he says as well. I don't believe it. Not Edgeworth. Some people's memory has been troubling him recently. But he'd never take someone's life. Never. Yo, how's everyone doing? Alright, that's where we cut it off. Larry, you piece of shit. Anyway. This has been fun. This has been a lot. Well, let me go to the goodbye screen. That's probably really annoying to hear. Lemon, thank you for coming by. Crovey, thank you for coming by. Who else came by and said hi? Beretta, thank you for coming by. And Crovey, thank you for the tarot card redeems. Very much appreciate that. Cool. There was more mystery here. Some conversation about other things. We're gonna carry this on. We're gonna carry this forward on Tuesday. Don't know if I'll have the time to stream tomorrow. We're probably gonna go out for dinner with the Frisbee team, so that's gonna be a thing. Yeah, it's night time for me. Thank you again, Lemon, for coming by. I really appreciate everyone who comes by and says hi. Still, we're gonna slowly rebuild this shit. We're gonna get there again. I don't know how, but we're gonna get there again. Anyway, good night. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, New Zealand time, which is probably Monday for you guys. And probably streaming about the same time as well, from 8 to 10. We're probably not going to go this late, though. Anyway, good night. Thank you so much. Have a good one. And I guess, yeah, I got nothing else to say. All right.